now maybe y'all can talk. Hello, can y'all try?
We should probably sound off to make sure everyone can. All right, sound be heard.
It's back?
Yeah.
Okay, can they hear me, though, is my question.
Or we could sound
Okay.
off.
Yeah, they
in
can
its
hear me.
proper
I can hear
manner.
them hearing me.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
We got Steve.
Okay.
Steve check.
Hey.
I'm not touching anything until we get started. So, Steve, take it away.
So as I was saying before, you can join us on this same channel on Tuesdays at 7:30 EST for a game set in a completely different game system in the distant future of 2090, where cyberpunk and magic meld into a universe where the Neon Knights battle their wildest fears and sometimes their greatest dreams. Come and check it out. It's a lot of fun in Shadowrun.
Awesome. And for those of you who want to follow along and add in some suggestions or what you like about the game, for all things Nat 20, you can check out the Discord that Kobe can tell you about a little bit more.
Oh, apparently I'm very quiet, so I'm just gonna scream into the mic.
Oh, God.
But we just started a Discord. We're really hoping to create a community that really just nourishes the idea of tabletop RPGs and
You're loud
everybody
now.
who enjoys
You're so
LOL.
very
them.
loud. You're so
Awesome.
very loud.
I'm gonna talk then. Hi. I will whisper now. And so we would really appreciate, there's a suggestion channel. There's channels for each of our games where we can talk about theories or like talk about the game. So if you do an exclamation point Discord, you can join and just read the rules and react to the rules, and you can interact and be notified of everything that's kind of happening on the show.
Thrilled to get you guys involved and start building this community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that is pretty much it. We have, I'm going to start us off with this little blob that I think that everybody can see now. Make sure that we can get it all fit in. There we go. So, welcome. This is the world that I have been working on for a while now. This is Arthania. And as a disclaimer to a lot of things that you'll see here, as we are playing D&D 5th edition, this adventure and many aspects of the world have been directly inspired by classic RPGs like Final Fantasy and Dragon Age and Elder Scrolls, a few books that I've read, movies, anime, other D&D shows, and tabletop games. So you might hear or recognize themes and tropes that are ranging from like animes like Fairy Tail or games like Monster Hunter or even Critical Role that I've kind of like made this Frankenstein of a game from. I do not take credit for any of the original content made by these awesome artists or authors, and I recommend that you go check them out if you recognize or hear them, but I just like them and I use them in my game. We also have a lot of homebrew rules and a lot of changes to classes that you'll see, like an intelligence casting warlock. Crazy. Or some spell prep rules that have changed, things I've taken from previous editions, and other things from other games or game systems that I might use or reuse, all still maintaining the 5e spirit, but opening it up more for a little bit of a wider opportunity for players to explore a little bit more customization options and variety. If you type !homebrew, you'll be given a link to a Google Doc that has listed, that I've gone through and listed like all the homebrew stuff that I can imagine. And you can check it out there. I've place tested it over the past like 7 years, and I think it's pretty balanced. But yeah, you go. Feel free to use all of that stuff. We're also using a lot of third-party sources. So if you hear weird, especially from the Deep Magic 5e supplement that Kobold Press made, where we have like 700 plus new spells that we're going to be using. If anyone is using those spells, though, they will let you know that it is from the Deep Magic book, and we'll read out the description so that everybody understands like what's going on, and we won't keep y'all in the dark whenever we say something like I cast gibberish or something like that. So we'll have that in store. But
Wait,
anyway,
is that a spell I can cast to confuse people?
we will see that spell later, hopefully. But for now, let's go ahead and jump in. This is the world that you've all come to know, learn of, live in, and perhaps love. Arthania. It's a world of varied cultures and individuals that is akin to similar prime material planes that you as players have seen, whether it be the Forgotten Realms lore or the Tamriel of the Elder Scrolls. It's very similar. It's a very high fantasy-esque system of a world. Though the adventure that we are focusing on is going to be beginning in the larger eastern continent, Varine. And now I get to switch to my Varine map, and y'all get to watch me. There we go. Bam. Varine is a sprawling landscape that extends from the harsh and inhospitable glaciers of the north that are in the north of the Neverfields, down south to the sky-touched peaks of the Yevduin Spine. Many large and densely populated kingdoms speckle the various terrains of this continent, from the religious and long-standing bastion city, Varenheim, the Golden Coast, the City of Splendor, Lucidios, the Gilded Forest and the Elven Majority cities, Alfarin, the Forge Fathers, Mountain Diamond, the Dwarvish Major City, Cordia, the sprawling metropolis and the largest city in Varine and one of the largest cities in the world of Arthania, Aldenair, the cold, industrialized, secluded human majority city, Ironbirth, and here, in the nestled in the Suncrest Mountains to the north, a quaint, charming city of growth and home to the Dawnfather's blessing, is the start of this story in Orncast. Orncast is the largest farming community of Varine, with a sense of community and hospitality, and it's located and as isolated and snowy as Orncast is. There's two things that come to attention when introduced to the melting pot of races and creatures that gather here, and just how all of the frozen nature of Orncast can give life to so much agriculture and farming equipment. That's because the ground here in Orncast is a well-known fact that it is blessed by Pelor, the god of light and agriculture. And as we all know, the one thing that brings people together is food. And you can imagine that people and individuals from cultures and different planes and other walks of life have found their way here to find something that's more familiar. This is not only a melting pot, but like a kitchen, the kitchen of Varine, as some people colloquially call it. Tonight, in particular, is the eve of the Winter Solstice Festival. The day has already been long and full of preparation for the festivities, and for the people here, and the party, full of adventure. Amongst the town and the various districts, the evening started with a splay of food stalls, games, and celebrations. Though as the customary city feast had just begun and the smells of cooked wild game profused the city, there was a very large interruption. Ankegs. Large, 10-foot-long, mantis-looking bugs and creatures that dug themselves all the way underneath the ground to the food, where they erupted and were swiftly dealt with by a group of bystanders in the crowd as other citizens ran to safety. Now we are in the aftermath of such battle, as we already had our session 0, and bringing us to the middle of Orncast, in the Centrum Trad, the central district of Orncast. We see two individuals who are currently cutting and carving away at the hard carapaces of the Ankeg that remained. The others burn to a crisp, and we see two white-haired individuals. If we can get Xyriel to describe your character.
So you see, standing over one of these corpses, kind of like squeamishly, but not so like he's kind of in this middle, like, should I help, should I not help motion. Over this onkeg, he is this standing 6 foot tall, olive skin, humanoid-looking man with 4 horns, 2 larger and 2 smaller, with silver caps on them, with white hair and aquamarine eyes that transition into like this amethyst border. He's wearing a large, shiny silver breastplate, and on top of the heart, he has this black gem that when he moves, kind of this amethyst energy pulses through it, and around it, he has a symbol of 2 dragons, one bigger and one smaller, coming to form over the top and headbutting. He's got a purple cloak on, and he's got a buckler on his side on his belt, and a very ornate rapier on his other.
And as you fill up a smaller vial of the caustic acid that had previously been aimed at you by these creatures, you hand it over to your companion in battle, Marlow. If you'd like to describe your character.
Okay. So next to Xyriel is a much shorter human. She's about 5'3", paler skin, and short gray hair that curls at the face and is like fizzed out in the back, almost as if she were struck by lightning and it was just all static. She's wearing a blue tunic, a silver cloak, and some tam breeches, all very fine make but travel weary. At her on her belt is a small blue flask and also a large hilt that takes up probably most of her thigh, but has no blade. And as she reaches out to take the container from her companion, there is a almost lightning burn mark that goes up and underneath her blue and tan bracers. Thanks, Xyriel. I'm still kind of a little dirty from before, so
yeah, maybe our new wizard friend can do that thing again, you know, like after we kind of dug those seeds. Maybe I don't know how she did that. But maybe we should ask her once we're done. Do you know how much of this we need to actually take back?
I mean,
this looks kind of heavy.
We weren't exactly, this wasn't our quest, so I'd say this is more bonus, perhaps. I'm pretty sure that Nova would appreciate gathering some for her, so if we can get a little bit more before we meet her at the tavern, and maybe we can use that in exchange for helping. And I just motion down, and it's just a lot of green splatters of blood on my stuff, and then just like trying to brush it off and be like, I would prefer to be a little bit more clean, if you don't mind.
Yeah, but let's get that done, and let's go find her as soon as we can.
Okay. Do you have like maybe a spare knife I could carve?
Yeah. And he does the thing where like golden retrievers will look for their tails, and he'll just do a spin because his knife is on the back of him, and before he finally picks it up and go, here, you can have this.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and I'm gonna start trying to gingerly carve into the Onkeg's carapace, I guess.
Okay, sounds good. We'll take this opportunity to see our first roll. So let's see.
First roll.
I will let it. I'll leave it up to you. You can either do and I'm sure that you're since Xyriel is helping you, You can either make separate rolls, or one of you can roll with advantage, and I'll allow you to either do a survival check, or based on your book of anatomy of monsters, maybe a nature check to see if you know where to cut.
You want to each do one?
Sure.
You want to split the?
Let's do it. I'm gonna
the
roll
pressure.
a survival check then.
I'm gonna do nature.
And I got. Oh, that was so close to a 1. Oh God.
Not much better.
I rolled a 22, a 15 plus 7.
Wow.
Nice.
I rolled a 10, a 3 plus a 7.
All right, easy enough. With a little bit of guidance from Marlow, you have the Phoenix League's book that kind of outlines the aspects of certain like common monsters that are throughout, that are where to carve and what is valuable and what is dangerous whenever you're carving. Though the Ankeg pages are sparse. Maybe not a whole lot of people are looking for Ankeg carapace, but it does tell you exactly what it is that people do want, which is the acid. So what are y'all trying to get out of this? Are y'all trying to get out acid and the carapace? Are you trying to get out the meat? Are you trying to get out?
I'm trying to get out whatever Marlow wants me to get out.
Okay.
Whatever she tells me to do, he's just sitting there going, okay. And
Listen.
carving.
I'm just sitting there trying to cut this, and I'm like burning my fingers on the acid. I'm like, fuck that kid. Can you just get some of this blood in this vial?
Yeah. I got it. Can I have my knife back? I know I just gave it to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's yours.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just. I'm gonna clean it, and it'll sizzle on my pants, and I'll hand it to him.
Ooh. As he takes it, he's just gonna put his hand over her pants and like cast mending and just fix the acid real fast. Gotcha.
Thanks.
And he's gonna get whatever she's looking for. So some of the acid, some of the blood.
Excellent. I'll say where are we got my D. That's good. So you're able to get out 1 vial of acid and 2 vials of blood from this Ankeg.
And I just pass him over to Marlow.
Oh. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm just gonna put them in my little pouch. You hear some clinking. I mean, if we're done here, I think I would, like I said, like to get clean. And I think Nova said she was gonna meet us at the tavern, I believe.
I think that was the plan.
Should we just leave the carcasses here? Should we?
I don't know. I feel like that's rude.
Maybe Tensors disc them back to the guild and then go back to the tavern. Just to, be polite, right?
I wonder if Garrock is still around, and he's gonna kind of like prairie dog, just look around frantically for Garrock.
You don't see Garrock, but that does bring us over to. You do know that Garrock was kind of on his way over to the local tavern that you had been invited to after you dealt with all the Ankeg business, which is not but about 100 feet away from you, and you kind of hear the boisterous laugh that he carries, and that brings us over to the Old Mole, a dive tavern that's a little bit larger than the ones that you've explored thus far. It's full of people right now because the remnants of the celebration gone wrong have all kind of pressed into here and are all sitting amongst the tables. There's a loud kind of cacophony of noises, as so there's kind of a low roar of whispering and talking, and a few individuals have been passed by with a pat on the back and like a thank you, and one of the individuals currently talking to Garrock as we hear the loud like and like a slap on the table is a darker haired individual. And Nova, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So you see at this table, you see a tall, slender woman. She's got olive skin, hooded and dressed in this silken ivory kind of cloak that actually covers up her hair and drapes over her leathered bodice. It buckles at her hip with a coined belt with these really bizarre, strange etched symbols across each face of the coin. Rather listlessly, she's staring at her drink companions. One has already been mentioned thus far, quite boisterous. And she's looking at them rather disinterested, but kind of trying to be polite and pay attention. So she knows she's supposed to keep eye contact. So she has these deep, like entrancing eyes that are like a cosmic slurry of like purples and golds. But that is not her most striking feature, because what is this big old like ornate contraption on her right hand, and it's like an amalgamation of like fluorescent wires and spiraled metal and pulley systems and just like all this gadgetry just like slapped on there. And it's like this big hunking thing for a very slender frame. And she's using it almost as like a stand, and she's like tracing her finger along the edge of her wine cup with it. And she's just patiently listening and glancing at the door, waiting for her two companions who are carving up some carcasses currently. And she's waiting ever so long for her true and more interesting colleagues to join the table.
And you hear the banter back and forth between Garrock and Valishi, who have Garrock, a half-orc of larger stature, currently kind of hugging over a dirty mug that he's filled up with his own concoction of who knows what kind of alcohol. Sitting next to him is a smaller, more timid appearing, younger female half-elf with some darker long hair and kind of like a long scar on the side of her face, who is, and you hear them talking back and forth about the fight and what they saw and like they're on kegs and having handled that, and she's going on about how she's terribly hungry and so just kind of heavily tapping at the table.
Has she ordered yet?
She has ordered 3 times.
Okay. So I don't have anything on hand, but I will engage in their conversation and ask them more about the on-kegs that were by them. Was it also a similar horde of 5 to 6, or?
Well, it was kind of they were kind of bigger than the ones that y'all handled, but it was nothing that was of anything to worry about. It was pretty easy. Garrock was pretty good at handling himself, and like you see Garrock kind of like look over like, I didn't do shit. Valishi was the one that killed him.
No way. I'm listening, but I'm not listening.
Okay.
And I'm waiting to see if I can see it, like if a wench is coming by with bread, so I could just like redirect the conversation away from the conversation and towards food.
You don't see. You see what is in this case. What you're looking for, which is Sean, one of the bartenders and barkeeps of the tavern, a maybe 35-year-old-ish, mid-30s-year-old human with slightly balding hair and a gruff face, and he's currently got like 3 platters of food that he's passing out, and you kind of like Do you tug at him as he walks by?
I snap at
You
him a couple
step-
times.
you step at-
And I motion over to him, like to try and call him over. She has
He walks off.
ordered. She gets a little flustered and just rubs her eyebrow a little impatiently and resumes the conversation as if nothing just happened.
Got you.
Is anyone else that was in our area of the battle at the tavern right now that I can see?
You can see Sean is bringing over 3 larger plates of some food over to a table that's probably about 6 tables over, where you see 3 white-haired individuals.
Okay. And what are they currently doing right now? I'm going to watch them for a little bit while engaging.
Gotcha. Well, let's peer on over to the first one, Val. On one side of the table, you finally see Sean pops up with the food that you ordered and some wine, and says, "Hey, you all, love. If you need anything else, don't be afraid to ask. Just don't snap. I hate snapping. I know you haven't done it yet, but just don't snap."
No, I wouldn't dream of it. Honestly, I commend your dedication to service. After everything that just happened, you're still, on time with some food. So, you have my respect, good sir.
Appreciate it. It's and he hands the the other 2 tieflings at the table their food. It's definitely well deserved for what you did outside and that mess that you left, but I'm sure they'll clean it up.
Yeah.
Coming, and he
What were we served?
has to rush off. The remnants of like whatever like festival food had been pulled from their stall that they were ordering, and they just went ahead and said, like, do you want meat or fish? And to whatever you decided that was like this like heavier platter of food with like a small cask of ale.
Do you want me to describe Val for everybody?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, Val is a 6 foot, I believe, 1 inch, 6 foot 1 inch, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah, 6 foot 1 inch tiefling. She's got like grayish skin and white hair, and her horns kind of curled back and around a little bit. She's wearing very, very gold armor. It's very shiny, very like ostentatious and in your face, very almost out of place. She looks fancy. And she's got a long sword, and then she's got like a really long cloak. Well, actually, no, the cloak is like a half cloak, but it's like black on the inside and then red on the outside, so it's like reversible. It's very cool. It's very fashionable, very fashion forward. Yeah, that's basically it. She just kind of has like an intimidating aura around her.
Symbols. Symbols on or paraphernalia that would count you as anything else that stands out besides the ostentatiousness of the
Nope,
thing?
there isn't really any. I mean, she does have like a, I guess since she's a paladin, she's got like a holy symbol or something, but it's not like really anything. She doesn't really have any like logos or
Cool.
stuff.
Easy.
Other than that,
Yeah, sounds good.
just big buff girl. Big buff girl gets serotonin. That's all.
Love it. And across the seat from you, you see a beady-eyed. You see the beady-eyed halfling that hops off the table and looks over at the 2 other tieflings. And we'll have Abe introduce yourself.
Well, Nat, where are you heading off to there, Vinny? I think we still need you. We're going to figure out how to handle this.
I'd had an idea, actually, that, Vinny, if you come for just a second, if you'd come right before you leave, this is a fine meal we're getting, but I'm not sure if we're going to have to pay for it, considering we just saved all these fine people. And I don't really want to ask. So maybe if you'd go and just check around with the back, maybe put in a good word to maybe not have these guys who just saved the town pay for their meals or something like that, that would be mighty appreciated.
Are you actually going to ask them to give you free food? I feel like if
No,
they
Vinny's
were,
gonna ask for them to give us free food,
I feel like if they were going to
but
give,
not on our behalf.
Well, now the other thing, what I was doing here, well, for the purposes of the contract, what would you say defines ale? And as he says this, the person who is talking sort of hunched over this tome that he has held in his hand, which he's scribbling in at one side of the table, is a 6'3" sort of deep red tiefling. Abraham wears a suit most of the time with a sort of deep red paisley vest underneath, and around his neck on a chain there is a simple horned lizard skull from who knows where. It looks as though it's been charred with flame on multiple occasions. He has a small set of spectacles, which he sort of is eternally pushing up his nose as he attempts to keep writing things in this tome. The tome itself has different runic markings on the front and seems to occasionally almost pulsate with an orangey red energy. Inside, in tiny, fine print, there are just lines upon lines of infernal runes, which he will pour over and then switch to another blank page where he's currently in the middle of attempting to write this contract, as any good lawyer does.
you're not seriously going to give that to him, are you?
Well, you mean the contract? Well, of course I was. How else would we be? I mean, I reckon we need to come to some sort of an agreement if I'm going to eat any of the food here. Otherwise, I might be passively agreeing to all sorts of nonsense that I don't know if Zeke here would be pleased with us signing up for.
I have to say that people up here don't seem to really be too concerned about the particulars. They just sort of assume that people ain't going to go to that much trouble to get anything from them that they weren't expecting. I frankly don't get it, but if I'm just going to say I'm thinking of the backup plan if your contract gets turned down again, Abe.
Well, now, I don't see a reason they'd turn this one down. I shortened it by 45% since the last time.
People,
it's only going to be 2 pages.
I don't think they like to read, if I'm honest.
As they're arguing, Val is going to take her fork or whatever and just pick a food, stare Abe directly in the eyes, and just eat it.
Well, now, see, now technically I think that means that you bought it, which if you wanted to just share with us, of course, as a charitable sort of situation, then we could maybe forego the contract. Or
will it get you to stop talking about contracts?
Yeah, for now, I suppose.
I slide some of my food across the table towards Abe.
Abe takes it and just quietly begins eating as he reads. Can't hear you, Case.
Oh, I think I know what's gone wrong.
The DM has gone free reign.
So, have we stated we created a Discord of which you should all check out and join and be part of our community and get more updates and more information about all of our characters. We also have a second game on Tuesdays.
There we go. I think maybe it's working now.
Better.
Hey,
Perfect.
Cool. Hopefully this works, because if not, I'll be really sad. So anyway, yeah. So you see this beady-eyed, strange looking, like it looks like the way I've described it before is it looks like a halfling, a very generic short brown-haired halfling with ditto eyes. And he looks up at you guys and says, look, we don't really know if we're having to pay for any of this, and who says we have to pay for this? You did a service to all these people, and thank you. Yeah, and who gives a rat's ass if we skimp town, or at least skimp this area a little bit, huh?
well, y'all are more than welcome to leave after eating, but I still have business to attend to.
Hey, Vinny's gonna get us in trouble again. You better talk to him before I rat him up.
I realized that the change didn't happen.
Yes, that's.
Hey, we're not ratting anyone out here, all right? That's right. Listen. We're just saying, look, don't tell big man's, all right? He doesn't need to know. We had a good show. We didn't get the target at this one instance, but we'll get him soon, all right?
See now, Zeke, I seem to remember that Vinny here told you when you told him to go that he was going to get us a map, and that map was going to take us to the person with which we have to adjudicate the contract in this town. And now I discovered he didn't even give us a map of this area.
Abe, all we gotta do is find the guy and then just sort it out. I don't think we're given a particular deadline to get that accomplished. So I think we can take our time, not worry about falling too far.
Oh yeah, no,
schedule.
sure. Let's not worry about the long-term deadline of, losing our immortal souls. That's fine. That's no big deal. I'll just think about it.
And at this point, so my character, similar suit, but his is kind of unbuttoned and just kind of kept much more casually. The tie isn't even done most of the time. And basically anything you don't already see here that might not be immediately obvious. The little collars have like little metal tips on them. And of course he's wearing boots that also have the metal tips as well, with a little like different like sort of runes and dynamic, but also a little bit Western patterns just sort of carved into them, like a few skulls and things like that on the metal. And then also, he's always constantly just sort of fiddling with a little chain that he holds, like just either in his jacket or like under the table, just sort of playing with the links back and forth to keep his hands busy.
Awesome.
But,
it's at this point that you all kind of hear like a hush over the current crowd that's in here, with a little bit of like a very isolated applause as you see two now very disheveled white-haired individuals walk through the door, covered in muck and parts of their clothes tattered. But well, actually no, you just mended the acid, so still kind of dirty and like tucking away something into their vests.
I'm guessing this is us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can all see each other now. Like you all now know that there's the group that you fought with is in the tavern, and you kind of recognized each other from afar.
Oh, look, it's those kids that we saw fighting those onkegs.
they did a good job too.
I'm gonna
Well,
go ahead.
thought for a sec.
I was just gonna like raise my hand, trying to make eye contact with Marlow and like motion her over.
Xyriel sees the hand, and he's just gonna stand on his toes, wave really big, and he's gonna grab Marlo's hand. He's like, "Oh, Nova's over here! Come on!" And he's just gonna drag her through the tavern, just completely through the tavern.
Okay, thank you for finding her.
Bashing through a few individuals that kind of look around and like shake their hands at you. So yeah, you find each other.
I'm really sorry. He's just very excitable. Hi Nova. It's great to see that you're still doing okay. We have something, and she's gonna go start like looking through her pouch, and if you look, it's like very neatly organized, like little jars upon jars, and she'll just take one out, rub it off a little bit, and give it to her and be like, Xyriel and I figured that since you helped so much with killing the onkegs outside, that you deserved a little bit of the spoils. So I'm sure you know what this is. I mean, you you're extremely intelligent from what I can tell. So, I mean, whatever you want to do with it.
Thank you. And I take the vial and I go, but first, before you sit down, and we have a little prestidigitation. Classic.
The blunder.
Get ready to
I really need the prestidigitation one.
There's a reason I didn't say it earlier.
that one cantrip.
That one cantrip. And just
Mr.
because
Clean.
also because I'm like not 100%
Magic
sure.
eraser.
I'm like not 100% sure you're like still fully clean, so I like put a little like napkin thing on the seat too, because I don't want you like splooging over in the seat or in the
It's
Wrong word.
Sorry. That was the worst form of malapropism I've ever seen in my life.
Quick, someone put it in the
everyone.
quotes channel in the Discord.
So sorry. Sorry.
You're gonna
just
speech
like
cover.
no. Take it back. Just like, where's that? All right, forget
no,
that
it
happened.
burns.
Anyways,
I'm literally
Great.
always on fire, and that hurt.
I feel it in my face right now. That's cool. Anyways, yeah, cool. I don't know what I'm gonna say, so I'm just gonna like stop talking and put down that napkin and take the vial and just we're waiting on bread for your compatriots.
Perfect.
Like internally. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Val.
I appreciate.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I appreciate, but there's Xyriel. I mean, there's something that we do in our guild. We're from the Phoenix League, by the way, and there's something that we do in our guild. And since you helped us and they helped us, is it? Do you think that? Well, I think it's out of order, and so I'm really sorry. It's kind of not completely proper. We should have done this first, but I mean, we didn't really expect giant bug monsters to come out of the ground. But if you would not mind, and I'm gonna wave to Garrock and Valishi in the back, be like, I do believe that me and my companion owe you a bit of a feast on us. So, along with the others, and maybe an apology. If you're interested, that is Xyriel.
Yeah. Of course. I would be more than happy to buy you food and have a feast and do this the proper way, right, Marlow? The proper way.
Yes, it is the proper way. But you don't have to worry about it, Xyriel. It's my turn, because I kind of cooked really bad last time, so I'll pay for it.
Val, you want to say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Val.
Yeah, no, so as they're talking, Val, after watching the Tiefling Bros try to finagle their way to a free meal, Val pushes her food over to Abe, and she's going to be like, I'm going to go thank the other smaller adventurers for their assistance with those bugs. And she's just gonna like slap the table and stand up and make her way over to the trio of short beans. I'm actually not sure how tall they all are, but I'm assuming they're
6 feet tall.
how tall is Xyriel?
6 feet.
Oh, okay. I would
I'm
Okay.
itty bitty. I'm 5'3".
Okay. So one of them is small. Yeah, Val's just going to like clank her way over, very regal like, and just kind of wait for a break in conversation before she interrupts.
Is Val the kind of girl who definitely like added her horn height onto like no I'm 5'10"
That's the 1 inch.
now.
She's 6 foot, and then the 1 is the horn.
Gotcha. There is a bit of like a separation in the crowd that comes at your like whenever you stand up, and just kind of the clanking of your armor like alerting people there's a almost like a natural separation and a nod as people go back to their drinks, as you all see Val making her way easily through the crowd.
Part the Red Sea, bitches.
The
Will not
second that Val like gets like enough out of earshot, for like a quiet talk, Zeke's gonna just like lean forward on the table over towards like it kind of like motion for Ape to get closer so you can talk a bit quieter.
Yeah. As you do that and seeing what she said, Zeke just goes, Zeke, I wasn't paying attention again. Were we supposed to be thanking somebody for something?
Frankly, I think we contributed to that fight just as much or more than any of them. But
Okay.
Just given on our general reputation and appearance, regardless of where we go, we might want to act quite thankful for any assistance we get, or basically
Right.
anyone who's willing to put up with us for a long period of time. Might be smart to keep
just
them
to
Who's this
establish
we
a
stuff?
sort
I'm
of
the one who
working
took out
rapport.
like 2 of them.
That's with the spell I gave you, you little shit.
Well,
And really, I think we would.
I really feel like I'm
I
doing the
think
work
we can
around
agree
here.
that most.
Oh, you think you're gonna go around and just breathing fire everywhere just because you can? No, you do what I say. You work with my strategy to get you in the right position to make that kind of fire. You think you just out there by yourself, you would do anything?
Plus, Vinny, I
If-
think we can agree based on your prior performance that any assistance you provide to this organization is purely accidental.
Vinny, you see the halfling form shimmer and disappear as Vinny goes invisible. You can sense him still there and just like pouting, but this is just like his pouting sense.
Well,
And he-
Ed, look, we gone and pissed him off too much. We're never gonna get him to go back and get us a free meal.
I don't know if I care. I'd rather
can still
stop
hear you,
than have to
assholes.
Deal with. I think I might rather starve than have to deal with him inevitably bringing back, I don't know, some sort of a live snake. Instead
Look,
of
I had
whatever
a
we
point
asked him to
while we
bring.
had a moment to ourselves here, just to say it real quick. You almost got in a fight with a very magical woman a little bit ago, and just over the count that you had to burn every living thing in the universe. So if we could maybe come up with some sort of agreement or general set of like ideas of when and you won't threaten to burn anything in spite of everyone else, you kind of lost yourself a little bit
I
again.
did it again.
Yeah, you sure as hell did.
Cool.
You were gung ho.
Good. Do you know who I conflicted with this time?
Oh, it would be the sparky gal over at the counter, and I'd say you apologize, but she honestly initiated that half as much or more than you. So you could pretend to apologize and make everyone feel better about the scenario. That might go over real well.
Well, I mean, I guess you're the expert on those sorts of things.
It's a human thing. It's
okay.
This world is really all
Right.
about the making everyone feel all right.
So-
half
so,
the time. So I think we.
How does the apology thing? How does that
I
work?
think that you just gotta go up and just gonna be like, I hope there's no lasting grievance between us, and Alfred to buy her a drink, because apparently that's
Cool.
like the thing.
All right. And he closes his book and he tucks it under his arm. And I'm just gonna make a straight beeline through the crowd with a dead serious face toward Kay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Marlow.
No, Marlow. Sorry, your name on the thing. That's Marlow.
I'll switch it.
At this point, the three of you sitting at the table with Garrock and Valishi see Val come up and kind of step in front of the whole crowd. Kind of like there's a little bit of a space that's made as people continue their conversations privately.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
What? No. Sorry, I don't know if we've been introduced. My name is Marlow. I'm gonna hold out my hand.
I extend a hand to shake the small bean's hand, and I give her a nice firm, like the whole forearm grasp one, where it's like the really like intense
shaking her.
one. Yeah, and I give her a little shake, but I'm like actually purposely not shaking too hard because she is small.
It's fine. I'm strong.
Strunk. And I say, you fought bravely, Marlow. I came over here because, one, I had not properly introduced myself, and we have already been in combat together. You may call me Val, but I just wanted to come over here and thank you and all of you and your companions for your assistance in with those onkegs.
Don't worry about it. That was amazing. You put some serious work into that. I'm Xyriel, by the way, and he just throws up the little peace sign next to his face. Very anime boy. I'm
Nice to meet
Xyriel.
you.
I like your horns.
Thank you. I grew them myself.
Same. And he just puts his head down and shows her his.
Are you a tiefling?
No. I like your armor too.
Thank you. I did not grow this myself. I bought it.
Nova, are you trying to say something?
I was going to. I was waiting for a pause. Don't worry. You had quite an impressive number of blows to those onkegs. I'm genuinely impressed.
Thank you.
Nova.
Nova.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Val, and I shake her hand as well. If she extends a hand, I shake it. If she doesn't,
I was
then
originally gonna like do this one, but since she like extended her hand, she like also kind of hesitant.
She does like the little tiny thing.
Exactly. Very dainty, does not want to get crushed.
Yeah, no, Val is very purposeful in not smooshing people's fingers. Unless she means to, which for the boys, she probably would have smooshed the boys' hands if they had decided to shake her hand, but it's fine, because they deserved it. Anyway, but yeah, so Val is just going to, thank them for their combat services. And so what brings you to Warrencast?
Well, I believe Marlow was in the middle of something. I'm sorry, Marlow. What were you trying to say before?
No, please continue talking. I had nothing important to say. Continue.
Great. And then I totally am cool with moving conversation. I go to Val and I tell her I am in search of someone up here because there is actually a work situation that I'm looking for, and I heard that one of our labs is actually up around Warrencast, but work stuff.
A studious type, I see. All right.
Quite.
We're here on League business, and
League
he picks
business.
up his pendant, and it's the little Phoenix League symbol of like.
Do I recognize it, Case?
Yeah, you have come across the Phoenix League a couple times. You know the Phoenix League. The times you come across the Phoenix League is usually them covered in blood and sinew, carrying the carcass of a large beast or monster or creature through the city, and they're very loud, like classically loud, obnoxious lot.
Oh, monster hunters, I see.
Kinda, yeah. We're not really monster hunting this time. We're kind of flower hunting. So like, yeah,
Go
kind
on.
of.
Oh, Xyriel, is the plant okay? Was it hit?
Oh, I don't even know. And he starts to do the like reach around thing again before he stops spinning and goes, Marlow, can you get it?
Of course, it would be my pleasure. And I'm just gonna reach down behind where the dagger is and take out like a little small bottle, and there's just like soil in it and a little itty bitty sprout, I assume. And I'm just gonna make sure it's not broken.
Yeah, at this point, actually, it is already got like 2 leaves that have budded off, starting to like exponentially grow.
And this flower is.
This is the sorry, I think I did a lot of screaming at some point or another. This is called a Kieran's Eye. It's a very potent. When it blooms, it only blooms in the middle of a lightning storm, and when it does, it's a very potent alchemical component that we have to take back to our guild.
Nova takes notes.
I saw that.
Every time, like writing it down. Really noted. What was the flower's name again?
A Kieran's Eye. K-I-R-I-N apostrophe. I'm sorry, you probably know this.
Quite exact, though. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it okay, Marlow?
It looks fine. I shouldn't have doubted you. You always take good care of your stuff, though. You never use some of them when you should, but it's okay.
It's at this point that you see like a very abrupt figure, like not rushing, but like steadily walking through the crowd, and then stops right in front of Marlow.
I immediately bow. And blurt out, I'm so sorry.
I start to go for the handshake, but then when she bows, I sort of like bow too, and I'm just like checking up, waiting to see when she stops bowing.
I also look up to see what he's doing.
Cool.
Let me see. Hold on a second. Yeah. As you look up, you hit Abe's chin with the back of your head, and y'all both kind of like go back a little bit, and it's just chaos.
It would be unfortunate if the repercussions from prior interactions between our two parties led to any further damages on my part, the part of the first. So, you should drink.
Pardon me? Drink what exactly?
At this point, I'm trying to like wave a waiter over.
Can I try and translate?
Yeah, can I roll an insight check on this?
Yeah, go for it. Y'all can both roll insight checks.
Rolled a 17 plus 4, so 21.
I rolled a 1.
First one!
Nova, you think that he's trying to get around with the thank you and maybe buying a drink. Xyriel, you think that he's asking her to dance.
Xyriel like gets behind Marlow and goes, Marlow, you haven't done this in a long time. We were just talking about it. It's go. And he pushes Marlow into Abe. Marlow.
Genuinely.
I don't know. No. That's legitimately all he's doing. You go ahead.
I believe what Abe was trying to say is that he apologizes for his part in the discourse that happened earlier and would like to buy you a drink. He is saying sorry, not to go dancing.
Yeah. Of course, without any further liability being admitted on my part for any outcomes of our interaction earlier. But yes.
I'm just gonna with the push, like dodge swiftly out of the way and be like, no, I don't think you need to apologize. I should be the one apologizing, I believe. I'm gonna look at Xyriel and just kind of put one hand on the hilt at my side, and I'll be like, I don't.
As soon as she looks away, I'm gesturing Abe over, or Zeke over. I mean,
yeah, Zeke's already halfway there. He was giving you just enough space to apologize when he wasn't physically present. And then, like, immediately following, he just, like, casually steps in, like, he just happened to come over.
I wasn't myself, and I think more than anything, you are the one who is deserving of an apology for what has happened. And yes, I apologize, and I'll bow again.
Give me a moment to confer, and I turn around and I pull Zeke down, and I say, now she says I don't need to apologize. She needed to apologize.
I ain't certain, but I'm pretty sure that means that that went as well as it could possibly go. So I think at this point you accept the apology, and if you're feeling confident, don't even write it down.
I don't. Okay.
Just let it be a little bit off the books,
cool.
Just for this one. And in the meantime, we still got food that we ain't eaten. And I'm
just going to turn back around. I'm going to bow low. And as I do so, I'm going to scribble down on a sheet of paper, the terms of your apology are found acceptable, and sign it and hand it to her.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a real good. And I'm gonna set the food down on the bar,
does
so that I can continue eating, like
Awesome.
with everybody else.
I see the
Good.
food
Nice and
and I
easy.
pass it to my friend who has been looking for food immediately.
You watch as Valishi, like her eyes grow in a way that's not very natural. Like her pupils dilate to almost like encapsulate. Like she looks like she's got like the Witcher black eyes, and you see a flash of magic, like arcane effect go about like her body that kind of like isolates with this like blue spark to her face, and then her mouth widens and opens like an elite from Halo.
Ow!
And then
Oh,
eats
God.
the whole thing, and their mouth returns back to normal. Thank you.
I see this happening, never having seen it before. Turn to Zeke and I go, I apologize. I will get you more food.
Oh, that's. I was gonna say if that food was free, then I wasn't sure if she was gonna pay for that, then we were gonna get another free meal. But like, as long as everyone gets to eat, I think we can all be satisfied. And if no gold happens to come from me, I am extra pleased.
You know, I ain't eating all day. I'm
Treat.
really could have used that food over here, Zeke.
Where's that
Oh.
voice coming from?
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. That's just a. Do I know approximately where he was?
Is he still invisible?
He's invisible. You
Yeah.
heard it behind Zeke's leg.
Cool. Can I just sort of like half kick him and be like, I don't know where that come from. Sometimes there's noises in taverns.
I just I want to pull a tiny piece of like beef jerky out of my bag and just kind of hold it down underneath, like behind me and underneath my cloak, and just kind of like wiggle it around and wait for Vinny to take.
You feel two you do feel like very quickly two like wiry bony, it feels like a bat is grabbing your hand, like the little bony fingers with some claws on the end, and just like pulls at like your wrist and like
Thank you.
And I give him a little. I kind of like try to pat him on the head, but like I can't see him and I'm not looking, so I just
You're
like
just-
go eat, eat, eat.
kind of
Yeah, I know.
waving your hand.
Well, nah, don't do that. He'll bite your fingers.
At this point, you hear a push and a heavy bellow of the wooden doors to the old mole that opens up, and you see the chef that had come out originally, the large ogre that was presenting the at least for the symptom trad, the catch of the day, as they say, before it was promptly eaten by two ankegs. Following behind this ogre as he kind of like greets and waves, you see the ogre very plainly points at your group, and then looks down at a taller individual. You see a silver-haired furbolg with a very soft gaze, who is kind of like holding her hands together, and looks over and nods up to the ogre, who continues onto the bar, eventually making her way over. You see this individual with very nice, almost like kind of thicker canvasy robes, with silk outlines and a few parts of it, with like large sleeves that she's kind of holding her hands into on the sleeves, and she welcomes or walks up and gives a very like small hand and bow, and says, well, good evening, y'all. I apologize for taking so long to come meet you. I apologize for not introducing myself first. I am the burgomaster of this town. My name is Sonia Volan. And I just wanted to thank y'all personally for handling those creatures. We've had problems with them before, but nothing like this too bad. So thank you. And she asks you all of your names.
Yeah. Val's gonna reciprocate the bow as well.
Bowing again.
Kind of just.
He's kind of just gonna go
Xyriel
like
does
this
the
from
peace sign
like.
again.
He's just gonna go a little like one of these from like the bar.
Just yeah. And then Val's gonna say it was nothing, ma'am. And just
Abe, I think, is going to be sticking with Zeke. So literally, I don't do anything because I'm looking at my book again.
I'll be like, it actually was. Don't let Val's modesty here get the better of us all. It was actually quite a bit of work. It took a lot of flame. Not too much danger. We're pretty capable, but yeah, it was nothing that we couldn't handle. We were pleased to be able to be of service.
Of course, and I apologize for all of us that you had such an inconvenience on such a festive day. I'm hoping that tomorrow during the bigger festivities it would be a little bit better. It is a bit loud in here. Would y'all want to accompany me over to my estate? It is just across the road. Maybe we can have a little bit more quieted down and get some nice food for y'all, or drinks or whatever. I see that maybe you've already eaten. She looks over like the 3 plates that are empty next to Felicia.
That would be an absolute honor, at least speaking for myself, that is.
I'm with her.
Please, I want to hear more about the Archegs and the recent events that you've had leading up to this.
Of course.
And quiet would be nice.
And she gestures and kind of waves over to the larger ogre figure, who like looks over with like a new thing of like mutton, like just a whole ass leg, and coming, and starts to motion over. Just across the Centum Trod, you see a larger estate, though still like not like overly decorated or anything like that. It is a larger building with some like the classic fantasy-esque Tudor style home, and it's the burgomaster's estate. Yeah, Nova.
Before we leave, I want to like make sure I took a tally and like dropped however many coins was equivalent to whatever food was eaten.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to leave it on the table, plus a little tip.
Gotcha. That'll come out to probably, if you ask, are you asking or are you like tallying on your
Assuming.
own?
Yeah, just a guess.
You're going to guess probably like 3 gold worth of food.
I'll leave like 5.
Gotcha. And Abe?
I was just going to say, actually, no, I wouldn't be paying enough attention. So I'm just going to, never mind.
Yeah, but what I'll be saying is, and coming over to your house, is there any sort of expectations before we head over there we should be aware of? Or is this just a friendly visit with no particular constraints?
Well, I did want to pose an option, but if you're needing to see yourself out somewhere else, you're more than welcome.
Oh, no, we have nowhere to be at all. As long as that option that you give us is the fact that we come to visit your house doesn't have anything to do with that, and if, we don't need to be prepared to, like, I don't know, bring something, or maybe like the fact
Just
that we
yourself is
crushed
fine.
your threshold means we owe you something, then we're all good.
Oh heavens, no! This is just, we're just coming to have some tea, and maybe a little bit of local delicacies or something.
Sure.
I just wanted to thank y'all and talk to y'all about it.
I tear a piece of paper out of my book and just hand it to Abe to Zeke without looking over. And Zeke, this is our standard hospitality contractual agreement.
Yeah. I'll pass that over to Sonia, I believe you said.
Sonia.
I see Zeke trying to hand the burgomaster contract, and I just...
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
we were gonna use that, but
You are not giving the burgomaster a contract.
do they not like contracts?
No, people, when they invite you over to their homes, they're not expecting you to have to sign for it. Just
Oh, that's a very
accept-
fair contract. We don't really ask anything from them. We just ask that they don't ask anything from us, and then they put the name down, and no one owes anyone anything.
Val's just going to fold it up and stick it in her armor and look to Sonia and say, "We'd be glad to come and have tea with you. Thank you for your hospitality. Is this engagement this evening?"
She's like walking y'all over. Like you can see, like.
Oh, we're
from the
going there
old
now.
house.
Now, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You can see like
All
it's,
right,
it's,
cool.
it's
That
not even like
answers my
a few
question.
hundred feet, and she just points at it. She's like, "We're going right over there." It's just the burgomaster estate is in the. You can see in the fantasy grounds. I don't know if you can see it because we need to figure that out. But in the center of the Centum Trad is the burgomaster's home, and right across the center fireplace is where the old mole is.
Yeah.
But you all do collectively. She thanks you for your kind words and appreciates the patronage and to the local businesses, and eventually leads you all in. Has you all seated at various armchairs that are in this nice larger foyer, and you are greeted by something something a little strange, as like you open as she opens the door. There are these two plants that look like little trumpet flowers, that kind of as you open up, the trumpet flowers kind of like turn and like lift up almost as if they had seen light, and it's like a fast motion thing, and they go, "Guests have arrived," and like a very like monotone thing, and then they slowly kind of wilt back down towards the center. And as you I like this. As you all go into the center of the room, there's a fireplace to get you all out of the cold, and she sits down across from you all with like one leg kind of tightly over the other one, and says, "So I must ask, I from what I've come to know, and I try to keep as much up to date on everyone coming in, but you know that we've got so many people here that are visiting for the festivals. I haven't had a chance to keep up with everyone's going-ons around here. What brings you all to Orncast? Besides, if it's just the festival, I would love that."
I have an engagement with the priests at Pelor's temple, but they were not going to be available until tomorrow.
Oh, Johann actually is on his way down right now to my estate. He should be here in the next 30 minutes or so. It takes him a little bit.
Now?
Yes, after he heard about the Onkegs kind of messing up the situation, he likes to come in and give a speech about how, just kind of reassuring everyone that it's going to be a nice day tomorrow, and everything will spring and bloom as it once did today.
Well, that is quite auspicious. If he has time, I would love to speak with him.
Oh, I'm sure he would love to speak with you. Gestures over to Nova and looks at, says, "And yourself?"
Do I know if the like labs here are like pretty cool with the burgomaster or like the general government?
You don't know.
I am on a quest to look for some work stuff, mostly a lot of research on the beautiful flowers and harvest bounty here.
Oh, well, the flowers in the Bloma Amarade over to the south are beautiful, especially during the solstice times. And if you're wanting to go, you're free to explore the Yordbrook to see if you want to find any more crops or anything like that you're wanting to study. We have plenty of scholars that come in and explore the kind of vastness of Pelo's blessing.
That would be wonderful. And if I'm allowed to, I would love to take some samples for future research as well. And of course, I will, remembering the note in the gardens, I will replace what I do take. But if I can pursue this research.
Of course.
Sure.
I'm glad you came to know about the Father's Grove. Yes, of course, as long as you're following the rules there, whatever you need to take, as long as you replant, is fair game. Though for the most part, all of those in the Bloma and the Yordbrook, and even some in the Pine Valley, are general farmers, and I'm sure that they would be happy to do business with you. They're quite fair in their prices, especially around this time.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And before I forget, your libraries.
Most of our books are usually kept away. The notes and whatnot are kept away. I know that there's one nicer place in the Winewell that I have not, the Winewell district that I have not frequented recently. But besides that, the Dawnfather's Cathedral does house a bit of free reading that is allowed, though maybe not so much sciencey nature. It might help you onto more of your studies, but as to exactly how the blessing works, perhaps I'm sorry, I don't really know anything about that science.
Not at all. I just enjoy reading, and it helps me pass the time. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Looks over at Marlow and Xyriel.
Hi, I'm Xyriel. That's Marlow. I think we already introduced ourselves, but we'll do it again. We're here for this thing, and he doesn't circle around like he usually does, and he just grabs it with both of his hands behind his back, and he pulls it out, and he's like, this right here, we're just here for a flower.
Oh, excellent. I see that
See it?
I am just, she says I can see it fine from here. I appreciate it. They're taking care of you, I hope. And she, you see that she talks to the flower. And Marlow.
As he's doing this, as they're talking, can Marlow kind of sneak off? And are there any trinkets or anything to look around, like a mantle with little things on it?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of the trinkets, less so, but there's a lot of plants of tons of variety of different things that are growing here in their own little potted area. And there's a couple of kind of floating globules of light over various shelved plant areas. It's a very fresh scent in here. Anyone who's allergic to pollen, like myself, DM, is probably oh god, in here.
Are there any that are just two that are small enough to just switch spots?
Yeah, there is.
Can I just kind of sneak over there and just try to really quietly just switch the two pots?
Go for it. Yeah, make a sleight of hand check. I guess while you're walking around and doing that, then she would probably gesture over to Abe and Ezekiel.
That's a non-nat 20.
A non-nat 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Dirty 20.
We were just looking for an individual who we'd made an agreement with.
Tina Alme, I believe, was the party in question.
Yeah, we were just hoping. She'd made an agreement with an employee of ours, and we were just looking to come and make sure we got the deals of that sorted out.
Yeah, we're lawyers on retainer for a number of individuals, and we're here to adjudicate the terms of a contract, which has not been.
It's nothing serious.
Completed.
We're just
simple.
We're just here to check boxes, do the paperwork as you will.
Sure, darling. I don't mean to interrupt you, but your shoulder is on fire.
Oh yeah, no, that Zeke.
Oh yeah. Well, you see, we come from we tend to be very connected with the elemental force.
Okay, so this is a normal thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
In
that's
fact,
all I
and I
was
like
wanting to know
I
about.
pick up like the corner of my jacket, which is like also just it's like it's kind of smoldering very slowly. Like I don't know if you've seen like Dark Souls or something like that, where it's like there's an effect where it's just everything's kind of like a little bit burning, but like slowly,
like a little ember-ish type thing that's cracked and stuff.
Yeah, sort of like an ember effect.
Abe is gonna sort of cough and just be and I'm gonna try and cast like very non-subtly, but he thinks he is prestidigitation to just make the flames look less, like die them down a bit.
Perfect. Yeah, that's easy enough. You see like they kind of like flare a little and then come down, and just enough to where they don't like kind of smoke out and make a scent. And she says, "There's one more individual who has a similar problem, but doesn't seem to have as much, I guess, control over it over in the Northern Dock Ward. I think he's from the Plane of Fire. He has a very nice noodle shop that is, I can't handle it. It's a little too spicy for me, but the locals love it." And then finally, like, but she like says like, "Well, I don't know in particular this individual that you're talking about, but I hope that you're able to handle whatever business you need to." And she like looks over finally
if there was one thing actually, do you know where a reasonable person who can complete a very normal task would find a map of the city?
Oh, I can get you a map just easy. Actually, there's a general store if you want to check out some better maps. Just south of here. I need to find it. Goldbrow Goods. It's a franchise that is around, and so they've always got a map of the local areas, and all of you kind of know about Goldbrow Goods. It's kind of the like every major city and even some of the smaller cities has a Goldbrow Goods that's like the Walmart of of the area, run by a clan of dwarves, and it's all cousins that runs it. She says, just go ahead and tell Gimmel that the burgomaster says that she'll pay you back.
Well, that's very charitable, and we appreciate.
You don't suppose I could get that in writing, do you?
I smack it.
As I start to sort of tear it.
I do not. I understand. There are some people that would use that power against other people like that, but I appreciate that. I don't mind doing that. And that's when she like motions over to Marlow, who like that pullback from Abe gave you just enough time to switch over two things real quick.
Hi. Yes. What was
Oh, were you? I see that you have a similar league symbol. Are you with Master Xyriel over here?
Yes. Xyriel and I are partners on this mission for today. And
Excellent.
currently.
I do appreciate all of the work that y'all have done to help us and even your further companions, and I have them being taken care of right now. And I think they were a little bit more preoccupied with some food, so I didn't want to bother them too bad. But we do have a situation. It's more of a tradition, and I do have a favor to ask y'all, or at least maybe I know that some guilds or groups work a little bit differently, but maybe a job to offer y'all. Since those Ankegs came in, we have limited amounts of large wild game that we've been able to achieve. to get for the feast that usually happens tomorrow. We have enough, but usually with these on-cake things, the last time this happened was probably about 2 years ago, just to the south of here, and they hit multiple times, and they are just the meanest nuisance. And as far as I know, I think that we have an individual who, a local kind of druidic guardian who kind of looks over the parts here a little bit. She's really good with guiding and really, as far as I know, the way I talk to her, she uses the stars to get things done. But she would be able to kind of guide y'all over to where we think the den is that these on-cakes came from. In order to maintain a sense of safety and hope that we can get a good winter solstice festival in, I would hate to ask y'all to stop all your work and stuff like that, but would y'all mind helping out?
I for one don't mind at all.
I immediately sort of like gently elbow Zeke, and I whisper, "We don't have time."
So we'd be delighted to to participate, but of course, now I understand, and I kind of like sideways like glance over at Val, that people around here ain't too fond of formalized agreements. But if we were going to go and risk our lives and delay our mission to help out with this problem, which I would be more than glad to, we would want to have a general idea of what that be, what that would exactly entail, the success of that mission, and also any kind of compensation before we apply.
I've had to have these discussions with some members of the Vitsto and in Aldenair. I will be able to write up a formalized job offer for you all, and she gestures like if you all would like it, or maybe just for you two, and you all would be agreeable to an oral dictation agreement. But of course, this can be arranged, and I don't mean to put you off, but at least either tonight or in the morning, if I could get y'all to. From what I know, it's about maybe a 3-hour walk from here, just to the west.
Well,
Abe will sort of rub
here.
his temple slightly,
Mm.
and then. Sorry, you want to go?
No, go ahead. I want to see what you're doing.
Abe will sort of rub his temple slightly and then go, "Now we would most certainly be delighted to resolve this issue for you. I'm sure that we can arrange in a moment for me to see to the details of that formalized agreement after you've discussed with everyone, of course." And then I just scowl at Zeke.
and Val is going to say, well, since the priest is already coming here, that takes one of my to-do list items and takes care of it. So I will be more than happy to help, and I will have ample time to do so.
And
sorry.
No, you go first.
And DM thing, as soon as I see the priest come, once the priest arrives, I'm going to start taking off my armor.
Okay.
But just I'm just going to keep an eye out for him.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm just excited for a field experiment. So yeah, the more exposure to the on-kegs, the better. But do you have any documentation on their acid that I can read? Anything that I can do? A shield?
As far as I know,
where they live, what
coincidentally,
they're like.
Coincidentally enough, I would normally point people to members of the guild that was found at the west gate of the Phoenix League for those things. They kind of specialize in monsters, and you have 2 members here that might be able to help you with that.
I turn to Marlow and Xyriel.
Oh, what do I know about the acid, DM?
You know that it sucks, and they have sacs. You know, like the biological aspect of the acid, and then it eats through pretty much anything.
Okay, well, if you're interested, I have a couple of diagrams, and I take out like a little field note, and I flip through some pages, and I'll like
Marlow's
hand it to you.
guide.
And I'm just gonna like look over the corner and be like, Xyriel did a couple of these drawings, so they're really nice. But so if you look here, just beside the stomach, underneath, like where the gallbladder is attached to the gallbladder, they have a specialized organ, and it's coated with a surfactant product that helps so that their acid doesn't eat away at their own organs. And the idea is when they, and I'm just gonna talk.
I see.
Nova is pleasantly surprised. Yes, Xyriel.
I see Elijah stuck in a
Oh no,
salute or question.
he's in the
Sad as-
void.
No.
We legitimately
Totally died.
No,
Yeah. I think
Come
he raised
back.
his hand and then died.
You're back.
We're good.
You're back.
Hey, he's
Oh,
back.
stream's messed though. Stream's messed. You might wanna.
Easy.
Whoop,
Done.
whoop, whoop.
Fixed.
I am the
Well,
DM now.
Also, I just want to say, "it sucks" is a technical term from the field guide for monsters.
I was originally gonna quote exactly what it said, and I was like,
Nova
My
was
God.
definitely
Oh,
impressed.
that
There's just like a
100%.
doodle next to it, like with a star that just says spicy bug goo.
that's Xyriel's
Why is it spicy?
note. Right there. He tried. We didn't test that out, no.
And as Marlow's talking and saying all these big words, Val just kind of zones out and has an aneurysm.
I love it.
Elijah, can you hear us now? Are you good? Is everything cool?
Yeah,
cool,
I'm
cool, cool.
good. Awesome.
Sweet.
What were you gonna say?
So far away.
Yeah, were you gonna say something? You like froze like
Yeah,
this.
you-
like
You
She
raised
was
your hand
asking
and then
to
you were
read-
just stuck
She was
there.
asking to read about like Onkegs, and Xyriel was already pulling his book out of his bag to show her his notes.
Oh
Very
god.
But
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put mine away and gingerly
No,
put my
wait,
hands out
wait,
for
no.
his, and then
More information, the better, please. That one specifically, and I point to Marlow's, but I like also grab Xyriel, so his like feelings aren't hurt because I recognize that. But like definitely paying more attention to Marlow's notes.
You get a sense that, like, while it's fairly understood as to like the anatomy and the function of this acid, and that usually they use it to burrow and to get into rock to make some harder areas, which tells you that their home is probably in a rocky substance, like a denser substance cave. It doesn't really say like that there's anything that really protects against it besides like normal armor. It does eat away at some of the softer metals and stuff like that, but nothing that you can prepare for in the next couple days, or at least that it would take a little bit of experimentation with your alchemical set if you wanted to like protect, like make a salve that'll go over enough of your body. It would take a long time.
Ouch. This is gonna hurt. That's all Nova can think in her head. It's like, oh man, this is okay. Yep. And she also points to Xyriel's notebook. One diagram in particular and says, that one's a good work, quite accurate. And then
thanks.
nods
Marlow,
to Marlow.
man, that was mostly the one that Marlow was showing me as an example. But it's still in my book, so I guess it counts.
buddy.
I close books and hand them back to them.
Awesome. And while y'all are talking about on kegs, and while the brothers are talking to, or the burgomaster kind of invites over the two brothers and starts to like write together an agreement of like services and stuff like that, and like returns. At that point, you hear a knock at the door. That is, the door kind of is opened up by one of the house helpers. And you hear a loud Flowers screeching like, guests have arrived, and then like sinks back down.
I forgot to get one of those. God.
And you see two individuals in very, very nice white robes, similar in style to like Saruman's robe, with lots of like green Celtic styled filigree, and a large symbol of a sun with or like a circle with 6 lines, and the symbol of Pelor, that you see, like you've seen multiple times throughout the city. The first individual that walks in, I see you. The first individual that is walking in has fine, thin, long white hair and a matching beard, with these soft, withered eyes and a soft smile that is kind of wrinkled into his face. And then the other individual behind him looks very similar, with a similar hairstyle that's kind of pulled back into a long ponytail with graying black hair. And this is Johan and Javal.
Val has started to take off her armor, so like she just like unbuckles like her belt that has the sword, and she just sets it on the chair next to her, and then she just starts going to town on like the
Oh goodness
pauldrons and
my!
stuff.
Did we run into the brothel again? Oh, I'm sorry.
And she's just like completely straight faced, just like taking off bits of armor and setting it down next to her.
And you hear like the man behind, like, no, we're at the right place. I don't know, ma'am. Where is the burgomaster? What are you doing?
Me? Oh, well, I needed to speak with you about something, and so it required a
Sonia.
physical example of what was wrong. So, but I'm wearing armor, so I decided that it would be more prudent in advance of our conversation for me to doff the armor so that I may speak with you about this issue. I'm wearing clothes underneath. I'm just taking off the armor. You don't need to be so worried. It is all right. And she
He's
just
a
keeps
little
going.
confused, so he's gonna just take off his suit jacket. Just like, okay.
Hero's gonna go, oh, I know
God, oh my God, oh my
how
God."
finicky those breastplates can be. Do you need help?
Yeah, I'll take some help, Xyriel. And
He's gonna go out.
You're able to do it in half time.
Abe, feeling very confused by that, is gonna button up his suit jacket to the second button.
I'm just gonna go
I'm gonna go read.
whisper more with Nova about
We're gonna
anatomy.
read. We're gonna read. We're gonna just.
you
we're
don't
gonna
understand. I have to be naked to talk to the priest. From the
Sonia kind of waves over, like, oh, no, she's fine. That's sorry, Johan, this is Val, and she introduces all of y'all. And
Another bow.
and, I appreciate you coming down here, both of y'all. Before we get into our business, I do say that this young lady helped, and the rest of these fine individuals helped to save the town, and this one in particular has a question or needs some help. And I would not mind. Y'all can, while we hash this out, looks back at the two brothers, like, y'all come on into the dining room and y'all can have a nice place to sit and chat.
Is she saying that we or like they?
Y'all, like Val, Johan, and Javal.
Oh, okay.
She kind of
Yeah,
like
sure.
pushes Johan, like, oh, okay, well, this is that's
Sure.
fair enough.
Yeah, whatever. I feel like at this point, how much armor have I gotten off? Am I like, how far have I gotten?
We'll say they wait for you to go ahead and fit down to your normal like shirt and like light armaments and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I basically just need to be able to access like this area. So if I can keep the shoes and stuff on.
Gotcha. Xyriel.
When they leave, Xyriel just picks up her breastplate and runs over to Marlow. Look at the craftsmanship on this. This looks so good.
I look at Xyriel and I see you break it, you buy it, pipsqueak. And then
Before they leave, can I go up to Johan?
He starts like trying to measure himself with his hand, like, wait.
Johan, the older one, is like, what? Squeaking? Where? Is that a mouse?
I'm gonna.
I just wanted to say thank you.
Zeke's
Okay.
gonna like glance over at Val now without armor and kind of like look over at like Abe and just like a little no.
Oh my god.
Abe Abe, who was absorbed in his book, is just like,
Before they go away into the other room, Nova does glance up. Does she see Val holding her chest, or not her chest, but her belly, abdomen area, or is it you're trying to act normal before you
she
leave?
hasn't been holding it. She just
Okay.
She was just making sure that she wasn't wearing armor so that she could eventually show the priest what was wrong. But it doesn't.
Gotcha.
It doesn't. It's not pain. It's not hurting her right now.
Cool. Sounds good.
And as you two kind of go back into or go into the side area, they kind of take a seat, and one of Johan kind of pulls back a chair for you to sit, or they come over and stand, and you hear Javal say, "Yes, my lady, what is it that we can help you with?"
Sorry for the miscommunication/misunderstanding, but it would, in the interest of not wasting your time, I did not want to wait until we were already speaking to try and disrobe so that I can show you my ailment. That also sounds weird. But you know what? It's better to just show than tell. So she's gonna like lift up her shirt, and so you can see like her like abdomen area, and there is a giant scar going across her belly, and it kind of almost looks like cracks of like magma going across it, like it's on fire. Actually, I am going to put it up behind me.
I was about to say, I'm about to put it onto the fantasy grounds.
Oh, you have it? Perfect.
Yeah.
I did draw art. You're right. I am prepared, y'all. But yeah, so it looks almost like a craggy, like magma scar that kind of glows slightly.
Oh Lord. Oh, too big.
The file is too big.
There we go.
Yep.
Let me make sure that the stream can see that. Yeah. All right. Look at that. I'm starting to get less unga bunga brain. Oh wait,
that seems fine.
All the cameras just went out.
Where'd the cameras go? Where'd the cameras go? What the heck?
Oh no.
Oh, I minimized it. I
dark.
minimized the chat. Oops. Oh no.
That would do it.
Oh god. Wait, we're back. We're
I
still
was
here.
gonna say
Are
that.
so
no.
strong. Discord vanished.
That looks fine. That looks like it's healing nicely. I don't think that's infected or anything. Just
There's absolutely
It'll be
nothing
good.
wrong with that.
yeah.
We're still here. Don't worry. I'm coming back. Okay, here I am. Look at me. Hello.
We're here.
I don't see you. On
We have
stream
everyone
still.
else we don't know.
Yeah, he's back.
We're good. There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Cool. So they look at that, and Johan and Javal both kind of like take a second back and like look in. Oh, that is quite serious, isn't it? Oh, it's glowing.
Yes. I went to many different healers around the land, and they said that this was the place that I should go, especially since you all are so in tune with Pelor.
Did you make your way over to Zalfarin?
I don't know, did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I did.
Like even like the high elven city of like medicine that you went over to.
Oh, yep. I went there. I went to Aldenair.
Like,
I
"This is
did the whole
beyond
thing.
us."
I did the whole kit and caboodle. I did the rounds.
I saw this once before. It was in my early days, and I would need to check the tomes to see exactly how to. And he's like, may I touch? Is it alright if I
Yep.
feel?"
Go ahead. And she's just gonna like let him poke it, I guess.
You see, like he kind of like a radiant energy comes over his palm as like from this energy comes like two like kind of zaps over to his face or floats over to his face as you see these two like ethereal or like this set of like ethereal reading glasses that he looks through, and like rub, like kind of like runs his hand, not like touching it, but just like on top or over it, and all right. With the festivities, how long have you had this?
Oh God, it's been a few weeks. You right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like
It's been
2 months now.
2 months. It's been 2 months. Dear God. Yeah. So I tell him it's been 2 months.
Is it with the solstice festival and the blessings, we have the rights to prepare for tomorrow, but if you would allow me to at least offer respite for the day, in case it gets a little too it starts becoming painful for you, we can definitely handle the day after tomorrow. I will help to prepare a ceremony, since if the burgomaster says what you've done here, I'm sure that you are certainly worth as much as we can muster, and I believe that she said that there's some other group that's going to be going after the Den Mother. Are you that person?
Yes. Yeah. We were just recently asked by the burgomaster to go and deal with these onkegs for you, so that they do not interrupt your festivities tomorrow.
Oh, thank Pelor. They are... forgive my Sylvan, but they're bitches. I hate them.
They are a nuisance, as today was evidence of. But absolutely, that will not be an issue. I've waited this long. 2 more days will not be an issue.
Well, very well. I will make preparations for you at the cathedral, and you have a place there. Until then, I will be discussing, and we both will, and you hear like Javal speak us up. Yes, we will both be discussing with the burgomaster whenever you return, and after the rites are completed, we will both be combining our efforts to help with this. From his reaction, I haven't seen that reaction in a while, at least. You're in good hands here, but it will take time.
All right.
And so you hear like a like kind of like some more tussling from the other room.
Well, those are my companions. I must make sure that they are not getting themselves into too much trouble.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
And as you return, and as everyone else kind of completes everything, the contract that's written up for Zeke and Abe is, as you guys gotta go through some revisory methods and stuff like that, there's finally like a very like pretty overall contract. She writes really fast. Being the burgomaster, she probably does like tons of these writings, and is like very literate in the proper speech that you're wanting to hear. Though she just like kind of like huffs her way through it. And you are, for the most part, recognize that the only thing that she wants is you will go attempt to handle the Den Mother of these Ankegs, so that we do not have an intrusion for tomorrow. In return, you will be paid an X amount of gold, and have a seat at the grand feast tomorrow that is paid for.
Well, now, I reckon that makes a certain amount of sense to me. I would like some sort of a provisory clause here, noting that if we discover additional ANKEGs that we have to deal with as we're on our way to the mother, that there will be some sort of an agreement for every so many of them. We may be compensated additionally for the additional time that may take.
She says she will do that, and she will. She signs she adds a clause saying that the number must be confirmed by the traveling the companion parties, or the party's companions who are members of the Phoenix League. So
Yeah, I'll sign.
cool. And
I'd like to put my signature on as a witness as well, just to that.
Yep.
He's like undersigned.
Awesome. As the night comes to a close, you all have a little bit more tea and some more pastries, and are able to talk before she asks if there's anything else that she can do for you before you all head out. She says preferably in the morning, to make sure that there's no more resting on kegs that are coming in. They're very active at night, at the afternoon and at night. Marlow.
Just as Johan is leaving, I would like to walk up to him and give a slight bow and say, I sincerely appreciate all of your help with my personal quest. And we didn't quite find what we were looking for, but I think we have another place to go. So, thank you.
I'm very happy that you were able to at least get on the right track. Pelo's blessing reaches very far, and hopefully wherever this next journey leg takes you, he will be there as well.
Of course. As recompense, I will gladly help take out the nest. So,
He
good night.
Agrees good night, and he's like, "Ooh, tea," and then he goes over and gets the tea. So with that, Abe.
I just want to say, as soon as the contract has been signed, Abe finds, if he can, just literally a bottle of the most regular looking whiskey or brandy adjacent alcohol he can find, and he's just taking the whole thing, carrying it around with him, and taking swigs out of it.
Okay, I gotcha. Easy enough. All right. And as you guys leave and go back into the main thoroughfare of the Centrum Trad, we will go ahead and take a break there.
Cool.
Cool.
So I'm going to switch.
Val gets her armor back from Zero. Give me that.
I'm going to switch back to the starting soon stream. You're going to see the text.
Can
Everyone's
we-
going to see the text. Switch to
Before we leave,
Yeah.
our DM is supposed to announce this. He's not looking at his freaking direct messages. But as a stream,
He's got
we
it.
would like to thank sub for Ovek. Thank you for subbing for 4 months. Thank you to a sub for Dali Jama with his Prime. Thank you for, and if I screw up these names, I apologize. Dania Lind sub, Eno Grigio sub, Wiki Dread sub, K9 Swizza, thank you for the sub, and thank you for the gift to our wonderful DM, Case D20. And then thank you, Squiggle16 team, for the sub with Prime, and thank you again, King Cryogen, for your subs.
Awesome.
Hey,
If I said your name wrong, please fucking correct me.
We will be starting back on at 9:30.
And if you don't come back,
Yeah.
Val will break your kneecaps.
As
Oh,
is,
she
as
won't.
is normal.
We'll heal them back up.
Xyriel will fix them.
If you hear us, it's because I'm Unga Bunga Brain. Okay, bye.
bye.
We'll be back.
So,
There we go. All right, hello everyone. I already was halfway into the intro again. What's up? We're back. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear. I'm trying to get the music going through some confangled way that some smarter people told me to do. So I don't know. Can y'all hear music? Maybe.
Can't.
We can't because I think you still need to share the audio with the Zoom. But they can hear it.
they can hear it.
Aha,
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Is it
So-
is it a good volume? Is the next question is
Yes.
realistically.
Is it overdoing it because I have it at 30% volume? Yeah.
Nina, did you get Pocky?
You know I did.
Good, great, wonderful.
I'm
I love
jealous.
that.
Awesome.
I was like, all right, do we want the cookies and cream or the matcha ones? So like, yeah.
Awesome.
You
Thank
know
you
the
guys
two.
for the input. Thank you, Canine Swizza, for the awesome playlist.
Boom.
This is royalty-free music, so we are good.
If you want to use your own games, there are the playlists posted in the stream playlists channel in the Discord.
Yeah.
!Discord.
You guys, wait, real quick. Can you guys hear music from Case? I don't hear anything.
No.
No,
Okay.
because he's not
Stream
showing it on
can.
Zoom yet. Yeah, Stream can hear it. Not showing
How
on
can
Zoom
I share it on Zoom?
yet. So click share
So-
screen,
And then
Click.
up at the top, you'll see advanced in the middle.
and then music or computer audio. There it is.
Now we hear it.
Boom.
Hey, look at
And
that.
say,
Look at me.
That's
Look, listen, I'm ready for Python. I'm telling you. Just give me a keyboard and mouse. I'll be ready to go. All right, y'all. So, I will, for now, move this wonderful image of bleeding Fembo to the side.
Get the Fembo out of here.
Um,
What happened to Marlow's health? Oh my god. Marlow, are you really at 11
Marlow?
hit points?
I'm pretty sure I got like wrecked by.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I brought you back up after that. Remember?
Did I?
Like,
Was
so-
I?
we also slept. A
Well,
little bit.
now we
haven't
slept.
haven't
right?
slept yet. But
Yeah, we
I
haven't
would say
slept
I would say if
Oh.
y'all wanted to do like short rest and spin hit dice, you could do that. Just like whenever we're having these kind of conversations or walking and stuff like that.
I'll say I was at 8.
So as you all finished up the conversation with the Burgermaster and with Johan and I've already forgotten his name. Why do I do this? Javal. You're all now outside of the Burgermaster's estates in the middle of the Centrum Trad. What would you like to do?
After getting my armor back from Xyriel, I'm like chasing down Xyriel to get my armor back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think you would be out so soon. I was just taking a look at the craftsmanship. Do you know who made this? It's really nice.
Yeah, I bought it from somewhere. Do I remember where I bought this from, or was this given to me from?
This this was given to you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not really 100% sure. It was given to me for my service.
Oh. Okay. Well, if you happen to remember, I would love to know. I would love to tell Marlow about it. She's kind of like a metallurgy buff. She likes that kind of stuff. Do you need help putting it back on?
Sure. Since we're walking, yeah, that'd probably be helpful.
You guys come out into the thoroughfare where there's 3 scorched on-keg corpses on the ground and
Butchered ones.
2 butchered ones. They're currently being cleaned up right now. There's a few oxes that have like a kind of a wagon hitched up to them, and there's this really big creature called an auroch that most of you have seen maybe once or twice. Abe and Ezekiel probably have this. Is probably like one of the first aurochs that y'all seen. It's like it's an ox, but with like elk horns, and it's like twice as big.
Well, now Zeke, that sort of looks like a burden beast, or maybe one of those hell pullers, but it's kind of different. You know what I'm saying? I think it serves the same purpose, though.
Well, I feel as long as we keep our distance, it probably won't cause us no trouble, considering how it's attached to the other things and all. Well, it should be fine.
You say that, but you remember old George? He got eaten by a burden beast, I heard.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you ain't watching yourself,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You always gotta
You gotta check your six a little bit
keep
more.
one eye over your shoulder and the other
Speaking
on whoever you're
of
stabbing.
looking around, Vinny.
Yeah. What?
So you remember when we sent you for that map thing? You know, the thing that we all decided you had been adequate in looking up. You ever think of checking a very well-known general store? By any chance?
Look. They told me this was the best map around town, and then I wouldn't find another
Who
one.
told you?
The person I bought it
were
from.
they blonde? Did
No,
you find
no.
them in?
Look, listen. I ain't no scrub with this kind of stuff. All right, I can read people.
I don't want no scrub.
Thank you. I was also singing that.
You're welcome.
I know who I'm talking to. It was we went over to, I think they call it the Dockwood or something. We went up north, and they tells me the cartographer or the guy who makes a map or something, and all these things. I was like, you know what, here, and I went ahead and gave him that gold that you let me borrow.
All of it?
It was just one gold. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did get anything back? All right. And
So quick question to clarify the situation there, Vinny. You took one of our gold, you went out, you purchased what was not a map, brought that back. It had no value to us, and you did not keep any of the gold that we gave you.
Vinny opens up the remnants of the map, and you can see he's spreading it out real wide. It's only it's a very small map, but you can see he's spreading it out, and he's like,
Look. Okay, so there's a you see it has Orncast written across, right? And then this big circle, that's the city. And then this blue stuff, I think he had a crayon or something. It was that's the water. That's that lake over by the docks. Then there's this drawing right here of an apple or maybe an orange. I'm not sure, but he said that's the north,
and you're literally looking at a circle, scribbled blue, scribbled green with an apple, and then
I just like to snap my fingers and just light the paper on fire.
Easy enough. He's holding it.
Wow!
Very
in casual
just
So in casual conversation, when we weren't even really looking for a map, we managed to find not only a place where they are provided in high detail, but also managed to get it free. So if you could just
I'm gonna flip to a marked, there aren't very many, but there are a couple tabs in my tome, and I flip to one of these tabs, and on the that page, it's just a ledger of gold, silver, and copper amounts with percentage interest rates next
You
to
can't
them.
put me up on the ledger now for that. All right, that was not my fault. I was swindled by who knows who in some faraway place that I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I have an idea here, Vinny, so that you don't get in no trouble. If you could just head on over by Gold Brow Goods, and we've made an agreement with the Boogermaster to get a map there for free. So if you could just go and pick that up for us, maybe we can pretend that was the map that you got for our 1 gold, and just skip any long-term disagreements there. That would be real great.
You know what? Yeah, fair enough. I'll go get this. You said the gold tongue galley. What?
And I'm gonna just I'll be like, can I have your arm for a second here?
I was gonna
Oh no!
I'll just right on his arm, just scratching a little bit into the arm so you can see it. Just Gold Brow Goods, just on his arm.
And then I'm gonna grab the other one and more aggressively map with an exclamation point.
There you go. Now you won't forget it.
All right, I got this.
You see him pumping himself up, and then goes behind Zeke, you hear a puff of like a very like classic cartoon, like and like you smell like a burnt out candle and brimstone, and you hear like the flutter of some leather wings that goes up as Vinny goes away. Let me pull up a picture of Vinny so that everybody knows what we're working with. Vinny is no normal imp.
Vinny needs a pay raise.
Vinny already got an entire gold from us for what should have been a simple fetch quest and did not successfully complete it.
Some of you may recognize it. Let me get this here. DNA, here, save. Oh no. Okay. And then, see, this is super fast. I got this. I'm speedy.
Everyone drink water. Water break.
Hydrate.
Hydration station.
Name.
Look, I'd have to act.
Wait, do we
When
have
Vinny comes up, I'm getting water.
that like a water
No,
break
bring
bot?
two.
No, we don't.
Okay.
I
didn't
ran
know.
out.
No.
All right. Here is Vinny. Just like comparatively to other imps, and you see that Vinny has a very tiny kind of a manacle on his left foot, and as he kind of like flies away, he's like, Vinny is like of other imps that are like kind of stocky, like just like scrawny, nasty, sharp-edged imps. Vinny's edges are very swooped, and everything's kind of droopy and not very impressive. But he like flutters off and goes over to wherever he thinks that this general store is.
Someday, Zeke, you're gonna have to provide me an adequate explanation for how he's the one who's supposed to be keeping track of us.
I figure if he's bad at his job, that works in our favor.
Fair enough.
The rest of you, are you all going back to your respective places that you've paid to stay or been allowed to stay? What are y'all doing?
Did I have a place that I was staying?
You had just like a normal inn.
Oh yeah, I was at
the
the
West
inn.
Ward.
Yeah,
But you were invited to go and stay at the cathedral.
I was. Where is everyone else staying?
Well,
just
Case?
just pending up.
Case? Chat.
Chat, what about?
Zoom chat.
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
Xyriel and I have lodging at our guild. I'm sure they'd be amenable to you staying with us.
That's all right. I don't want to put anyone off. I just wanted to see where everyone else's accommodations were.
Well, I think
Boys, do you have somewhere you're staying?
Was that to Abe and Zeke?
Yep,
Or-
they're the boys.
Okay.
I actually didn't hear you.
Oh,
She
I
asked
said,
if we had anywhere we're staying.
yeah, do you guys have anywhere you're staying?
Oh, well, I would say. Did you say there was extra space at the Adventurers Guild, Marlow?
Possibly. I mean,
Did they
I'm
charge for
I'm
that
only,
extra space?
I'm only a spark, so I can't really make any decisions. But we could ask.
Yeah, let's go find out if we can get some more comfortable and affordable accommodations. So we're gonna check there, Val. But then, assuming we do not find something to our satisfaction, or then we'll probably end up. Where were we last night?
You all were at that really rowdy tavern.
Yeah, and I'll lean forward and I'll say, we were at a location where the proprietor of the establishment seems to think that he would like to have some goodwill with people of our profession and was willing to provide us a room for the night.
Yeah. So that's what will be as a backup.
All right. Well, in the interest of keeping things simple and all together, since we are now working all together, and I look at everyone, let us all go to the guild hall, and if accommodations there aren't something that we can get, we could also go to the cathedral.
All right. We can't hear you, Nina. Your things. Yeah, do the redo.
Hello.
There we
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Awkward because Novo is going to go back to the red thicket. So
You can still go back to the
I
red
will.
thicket if you want.
I mean, I'll hang out with everyone, and then when everyone goes to their respective places, I will be hopping back to the wine district. But I'll hang out for a little longer. It's no biggie.
All right. So you guys are going over towards the west end or southwest end of town, just out the Westway Gate, where you see everyone but Marlow and Marlow.
It's me.
See for the first time what looks like a galleon or like a ship that has been run aground, but it's standing like vertically up, and there's a large, very, very large, heavy tree that is going through almost like where the mast would be, and there's like a kind of a ramp that goes through these like large double doors of this galleon. There's lights on, and you can hear like consistent music that is being played, and some like it just sounds like a fun time in there.
This is the League's base of operations here in Orangcast. You guys will fit right in, I'm sure.
Zeke, if I could have a moment of counsel.
Oh goodness.
Pull him aside. Just real quick. Real quick. Going into this place, it seems like there will be a rowdy sort of atmosphere. Again, if you could not dance, sing, and/or leave with any of the women here, we do kind of have
you
to
don't
go
got
and fat things in the morning.
They ain't my time. Like, don't worry.
All right, all right. And I just go back to the group. Yep. Continuing on.
I would expect nothing less from the Phoenix League in regards to the rowdiness.
We're all pretty fun here.
And loud. Very loud.
Who is in charge, Marlow, so that we may ask them if they would not mind putting us up for the evening?
Oh, the person in charge of the Phoenix League here in Orangcast has a name I'm sure I know.
Silva is the local guild hall manager.
We could find Silva. They're in charge here.
Right.
We might be busy, but we can. They're probably at the bar, to be honest.
I would be happy to speak with them if it would make things easier. I don't want to put more trouble on you than we already have.
Oh, no trouble at all. Right, Xyriel?
Right. We love having all of you guys here. I mean,
Fucking
guys
insight
helped us
check.
out.
Yeah, I was about to say they look hella nervous.
Which one are
That's
you inciting?
a 13. I'm inciting Xyriel.
There's no.
Oh my God.
He is genuinely having fun, having so
Okay.
many people to talk to. He's enjoying it. Yes. He's excited. He's
Okay.
an excited boy, little golden retriever boy.
He happy.
All right, cool. Well, then I will follow Marlow to introduce me to Silva, so that I may ask.
Yep.
All right, so you go in and you immediately hear, kind of like almost like a crescendo of "Hey!" as you hear the crash into a table of what looks like a bloodied bag or something like that someone had just finished bringing in, and then this arcane disc that was sitting next to the table that just kind of like shatters in a silent or a very quiet sound of like ice breaking. And you hear like a lot of like jovial talk from over here. The bar is kind of a circular bar that goes around that long tree that goes up the middle of this area, and there's not really multiple decks. There's kind of a secondary deck that goes around with more tables and enjoyment. There at the bow of the ship is a large stage. And besides that, it's just a bunch of tables to the back back of the ship. There is a normal pit that they have like events at, or games, or even fighting like competitions, or like if people just like want to like practice sparring, they go in there. And you see at the bar, after after a crash of glass, a bottle that was thrown from the center circular bar with feet up on the bar is a drow with shaved head, with like very wearing a black tank top, what looks like kind of like silvery buzz cut hair, and they are like very muscular as they like, you see that they like just finished, and like picks up another bottle like, I'll throw another one if you don't shut the fuck up. And like sets it down, and pulls over another straw and looks over at you guys and says, you returned. Who are these lot?
These are our new friends. Sorry.
Hail and well met. Silva, I presume.
Right, and yeah, this me in the flesh. And
You may call me Val, and I give a very, like, a little slight head nod.
like taps a straw to their head, and they look so Marlow, Xyriel.
Yes, sir.
What's with the lot here? Are they looking for food, drink, stay?
Lodging, actually.
Easy enough.
He said,
If it wouldn't mind you none, hey, I'm Zeke. This is here Abe, my associate. And we're just looking for, Marlow here was kind enough to bring us by, but we expect no obligation for you to actually help us out anyway. But if you happen to have space, for a couple tired souls to put their head.
Yes, we were tasked by the Burgomaster, all of us, including Xyriel and Marlow here, to go deal with the incursion of Almkag that seem to plague this town. And we set out in the morning, and we're wondering, it would just be easier if we were all to stick together for simplicity's sake. But if not, we completely understand.
They pull out a ledger and puts it on the bar and looks at Xyriel and Marlow and says, so will you all be paying for it, or will they be paying for it?
I can pay. Xyriel?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Why don't we go halvesies? They're our new friends, not just yours.
I'll
I can
step
help.
forward. I'll step forward next to Marlow and Xyriel, and I'll say, "Now, if it's all the same to the two of you, if you were to pay for it, I feel that might set up a sort of debt-based agreement between us, even in an unofficial manner. I think I might prefer if I can actually cover this for now." And I'll step forward and I'll say, "How much is it?"
Oh, how many rooms do you need?
We can share, me and Abe. Okay, so that's one. And then I'll point at Marlow and Xyriel and be like, "Are you two? Is that one room or two? I don't.
No, we're
are you
good.
guys
We're good.
like?
How
We
many
have
beds
our
to a room, if I
own
Oh,
may?
you
rooms.
have your own then. Okay.
How
cool.
many beds to a room, if I may ask?
It's a normal room. There's one or two beds. If you're wanting to get the 2-bed one, it's a little bit more expensive. If I need to know if The members are paying because they do get a discount if you're just coming in here for stay for whatever reason. Then it is more expensive.
So on that, Zeke, if you could just write up a quick thing, and we'll pay them when they pay the rooms.
Or begin contracting.
Eyes kind of dart over towards Marlow, and a hand extends.
I got it. And Xyriel's just gonna pull out his pouch. How much is it? He's just sitting here holding his pouch with his hand.
Counts out for 4 rooms, I think. Right?
Oh, it's 1 room for the boys, and then Val needs a
free-
room, and then Nova's not staying.
Dang.
Zeke and
Okay.
Abe
I'm
can
just
sleep
enjoying
foot to horn.
company.
Zeke and Abe
rooms.
can sleep foot to horn and use a 1-bedroom if that's cheaper.
Yeah.
It'll come out to, with your discount, it'll come out to 1 gold.
Yeah.
I got
Val's
it.
just gonna slip Marlow a gold.
Dude, I'm gonna notice. If I notice that, I'm just gonna step away.
You don't want it?
I don't. I don't need your money.
Alright.
I appreciate it. However, I promise you that I am in no need of funds currently, and well, we're hunting things that our guild would normally take care of, so I feel more indebted to you than you don't have to pay. I promise.
All right. Well, then I will take your generosity.
A point of fact, if you were indebted to us, I'd be tracking that. You're not. It's actually mostly on the part of the client in this case, which would be the mayor, who has to give us repayment for these actions taken. But yeah, so I'll be sure to keep you informed if there is at any point a debt you incur based on the actions that you take.
Please do, so I may be sure to pay them back in good time.
You hear like the tapping of fingers against the wood, and like you finally give a gold.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they finally take it, write down a couple of names. It says, guild members to the front, newcomers to the back. It's a little loud over the rink. If you find that it is too loud, don't come bother me. It's not my problem. And then like you see they start like yelling at someone else as like you see another person like taking like a taxidermy head like off the wall and like playing with it, and like gets up and like gets out of the bar and goes and starts yelling at them.
That's the guild.
Nova's taking up as like small of a space as she possibly can to just like not touch anything and like just.
Oh yeah, there's a
not having a time.
a smell in here that is that masks the nice wood that would normally be smelled that be put in here, of dried ale, and like it's not particularly like dirt, but like you can see like the ground is has that effect of like that salty or like the like snow makes on like tearing up the wood and stuff like that, and it's just like it's been here for a while, you could tell.
Oh, Val wants to say something to Nova if Nova is amenable to that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Val's gonna walk over to Nova. Are you sitting at a table? What are you doing?
I will, if there is a clean one, but probably just standing.
All right, so Val's just going to like stand at a decent like socially respectable distance away from Nova, because it has become clear that Nova likes her personal space.
Thanks.
And you're just gonna be like, so Nova, I couldn't help but notice back at the Burrowmaster's Mansion that you were a little bit worried about fighting the Ankags. I just wanted to offer you my protection.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's highly handy. You seem like the up close and personal type. I am more of the gaze from a distance type. I like to see the entire battlefield, if you know what I mean. I don't like getting up close and personal, but if there's a circumstance and I like lose my train of thought a little bit because of the noise, and I try and refocus what I'm trying to say. If there is a circumstance where you and I are in the same area, I appreciate it kindly, and I will be sure to assist if I can. Trying really hard to make a conversation while all of this is going on, but it's really affecting her.
Xyriel runs up from behind them and kind of wraps his arm around Nova,
no.
Nova and Val. Just in the middle. It goes, yeah, and if you guys ever get hurt, I'm here. I can help. I mean, I kind of did last time.
You did a great job with it. Yes.
Hello, small child.
I look at Val and I smile.
I think we're the same height.
I was not referring to your height.
Oh. I mean, I'm not that young, but okay, that's fine if that's... Yeah, sure.
Where
She was referring to your buffness, silly.
I
Oh, okay.
I know that.
There's Nova, and then there's Val standing at a reasonable social distance. And at about double that distance away, Abe is standing. But I'm still gonna look over and across her, which may be across a couple of other people. And he's just going to say, so you have books.
Yes, I've got books. I'm still like kind of like trying to just scoot my arms.
He'll
and,
let go. If you try
Okay,
to get
cool.
out, he'll let go.
Cool. Thank you, Xyriel. I appreciate
He doesn't think anything of it. Like, he doesn't think you're trying to get away from him. He literally he's like, okay, bye.
Oh, great. Have fun. Bye.
What a sweetie.
He's so precious.
Is,
I've got.
I mean, do you have more like here, or is that just the one, or?
Well, this is the one for this, and I motion to the collapsed Perry that's not active right now. It is my Perry index, if you will. I do have other books. I have a number of scrolls and assorted work journals. But back in Aldenair, if you are interested in books, I have an entire library of, and then she starts to just like talk about her treasure trove of like books that she has collected over the years in Aldenair.
Do you have to have any kind of like special credentials to get access to that library? Because there were some others where they tried to like, there was a very strange system for getting a hold of those books, and I was just wondering, well, really, if there's that library is accessible, and also, do you have any more books like here, or could I look at your book? And this is the first time he sort of starts to step forward.
She moves like slightly back, but also like is okay with him actually looking at the book. But I'm like, please, I remember your, and she like motions to her shoulders.
Yeah.
We need calm, like
Yeah, no, of course.
highly flammable.
Right, yeah. And he whispers the incantation under his breath to sort of like settle the flames down.
Are you gonna open up the book and check it out?
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna start. So what he'll try to do, if this table isn't already at the corner of the room, is he wants to just sort of take the book and lead them to the darkest corner away from people he can find.
That's
Okay.
not sus at all.
Unfortunately, if you do open it,
Okay,
it is totally illegible for you.
great,
Like
excellent.
nothing you're gonna glean from that. But have fun. Go for it. Pour
Yeah,
over.
no,
What?
no.
What languages
Have
do you
at
speak,
it.
Steve?
I speak Common, Deep Speech, Draconic, Dwarvish, Gith, and Infernal.
Can I have just like followed
Yeah, sure.
a little bit behind?
You can come. I
Yeah,
love when
Abe is
people are
elated.
interested in my work.
He's like actually smiling for the first time.
Yeah, it looks
Speed.
it looks like it looks similar to like kind of scripted as like Arabic.
Okay.
But yeah, just a little off.
I would like to say I'm a respectable distance and I'm trying to like stand on my tippy toes to try and see over people, but I'm
Marlow, assistance.
Did you just lift me up, really?
No, I'm gonna ask.
If you wouldn't mind.
Nova's just getting out of the way. Like, go ahead, look at it. I'll watch you guys and add like
Yeah, Val
a
is
little proud.
hoist Marlow up onto her shoulders and allow Marlow to look.
This is hi. Is this what it's like to be tall? Okay.
You hear some yells from across the guild hall, and then you hear like, "Ah!" And like this girl has already got on this other guy's shoulders, and they like wave over to you.
No.
You might have just started the chicken fight. Not gonna
I don't
lie.
want it. I don't want it at all. I'm gonna try and decipher your book.
So what Abe is doing is he's sat her book down at the top, his tome down, flipped to new pages, and he's just going to be taking notes of everything he reads, like copying and trying to understand and decipher the book.
Sure. Yeah.
Completely
Go ahead.
forget that everyone else exists.
Okay, so
make
Abe
sure
turns
you-
into a copying machine. Marlow, what languages do you speak?
I read all of them.
You do read all of them. This one,
It's not a language.
right?
Yeah.
It is actually like it is written in. I think it's written in Celestial, but it is.
I speak of Celestial.
It is a ciphered system. Like you recognize the characters, but they don't really. They don't mean anything.
Can I try to decipher some of it?
Yeah, make an intelligence check. Or I'll say since you're trying to read, you understand that it is magic text. I say that you could do an Arcana check.
Abe
What
is
languages
also
do you
trying
speak?
to
I'm,
decipher this text as he goes.
Swinging a little bit away as the other people approach me for a chicken fight, and I just I can't focus on.
Yeah,
They've-
Val is just like wherever Marlow wants to go. Like if Marlow like pulls on one of her horns, she's just like. Okay.
The other group
Oh, I'm so sorry.
has swayed and fallen over twice now, and they've given up. And they've gone over to back to the other table out of embarrassment.
Marlow, do I need to up the nat 1 counter? Did you roll a
It
nat
was
1?
a 2, actually.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
But
Oh yeah, we have a nat 1 counter.
Val is as we're walking. Val just kind of like casually like looks up at Marlow and goes, "You know, Marlow, you do not have to apologize for just existing."
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm so I just
Next time,
I am unable to respond to that.
try replacing your "I'm sorries" with "thank yous" instead.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Nova definitely heard this and like appreciated that. Looked at Val and nodded.
So what was that? What was that roll? Was it 2? You said.
It was a 9
Oh,
total, but it was a 2. So it's
You can glean that this is like she said. It is a spell book, but if she didn't tell you that, then it would have taken you a while to understand exactly how it is a spell book or why.
fine. I just fix swords. That's all I do.
But yeah, that's all you're able to do. How long, while y'all are maybe sharing stories
I have
back and
I have a viol, so I might start playing that just a corner.
I
Not
love music.
super-
Please do.
Yeah. So I'll like come over. I'll find a spot where it's like there's just enough space in the crowd, right? That no one's gonna like jostle me, and I'm gonna start playing like a little like song, and essentially it's you'd probably recognize it as the fiddle portion of A Devil Wins Down to Georgia. Just like
roll a performance check.
tapping my foot.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, what'd you say?
Roll a performance check.
Performance check.
Meanwhile, I am just trying to decipher and understand this text as best I can.
Nova, how long do you let Abe just like copy down your book?
He is happy to look at it as long as he wants to, but I need it back like before I walk away. But I'm cool listening to the fiddle for a little bit and watching him admire my work.
Awesome.
21, by the way.
21. Oh yeah, you guys are all like starting to tap your foot to it just consistently, and you hear like the further end where the music is playing, like some lighter music over there is playing. They kind of quiet down, and then like you hear like a untimed clap along from a couple of drunk individuals.
Nova claps a little louder on beat to try and encourage people to clap on beat.
because he's used to this, as she starts to clap on beat, Abe is gonna just flip to a different page of his book, read an incantation, and make some hand gestures, and I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy to make her claps a lot louder.
Okay.
Nice.
Solid. And the music continues until at least until Zeke is well tired and fingers recalloused. I'd say it's probably about as another hour passes. You're getting close to midnight now. So what is it? Or are y'all going to go ahead and call it for the night?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things I need to do back at the Red Thicket. Are you done copying down pages and poring over the book?
Yeah, this is, well, I'm not rightly sure that I understand it just yet, but I will. And maybe, and he hands the book back. Sometime, if you had time, of course, we could come up with some sort of an arrangement where I could provide either like coins or food at a standard rate as you could explain some of the writing that you've done to me. I could draft something up to explain like the approximate value of your time per hour, and then we could work something out.
And I cut him off and I say, we'll figure it out later.
Cool. Yeah,
I'm
that'd be good.
glad you had some time to read. Yeah.
Zeke, you feel a small pitter patter to your feet and then a tug at your pant leg.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
I look down. As I'm going along, I'm like, I'm playing.
Oh, sorry.
I'll just put it in my pocket.
You feel like a rustle in like one of your pockets, and then like tries to like stuff it in there, and it falls out, and then he like puts it in your back pocket. Then you eventually see like a halfling kind of like on the side of the wall, kind of like just
Yeah, and as he like leaves, I'll just quietly be like, "Thank you, Vinny. You did good."
Thank you, boss. No problem.
All right, and if there's anything else that y'all want to do before calling it for the in game the night, that is.
Xyriel.
Yeah?
Can you just, I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but can you just give me Zarth, please?
I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know why you really want it, but okay.
You're very, very mean to her, and you didn't use her when you could have used her, and used your magic-y thing instead, and she just...
It was too far away. I needed to make sure you were okay.
She deserves love, too.
Is Marlow still on my shoulders? I'm just walking Marlow along.
No,
Just
it's been like an hour since that.
Okay. I'm just like, dee-doo-doo.
Fine.
Thank
And
you.
He draws that really ornate rapier, and upon closer inspection, the rapier has 11 different sockets, 10 of which are empty. 9 of them are on the top of the hilt, and one of the one like to the edge of the blade is this very like silver gemstone that's been emplaced in it, and the rest are like I said, completely empty, and then the pommel itself is empty, and he just hands it over, kind of looking dejected, to Marlow, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure that they weren't hurting you, and they were too far away."
It's fine, but a good blade deserves to be used. And she just kind of like cuddles a little bit to the blade, and she walks off.
Wait, what? Sorry. And he'll order 2 things of food, and he'll go up to his room, and he'll sit down, and that's his
Awesome.
thing.
Gotcha. And as you sit down, Marlo, where are you going with the blade? Are you just like coddling it?
I go back to my room and I take off my own sword hilt and I put that on like the bedside next to it, just give it a little pat, and then I just start sharpening the sword, whispering sweet nothings.
Gotcha. You do hear just a faint chuckle. Just not from anywhere in particular. Just faint chuckle that you're used to.
It talks.
And then as we go over back to the rest of y'all, are y'all calling it for the night?
Yeah.
Going
I'm making my way
basement?
back.
Val is going to wait until the tiefling. She's just going to wait up for the tiefling boys just to make sure that they're not causing any trouble. And as soon as they go to bed, then she's going to go to bed. But she's just like sentineling in it out here.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Eventually, the brothers make their way, I'm guessing, to the room, or at least to continue study in the room. As things start to get like washed up in their area, there's still like people like making noises over on the other end. Yeah.
So Val might have a problem with that due to the fact that Abe doesn't sleep.
Fucking warlock shit.
Does he at least go to his room?
I was literally gonna sit in the tavern and study all night long.
This is an awkward moment.
Eventually, yeah, Val's just gonna like notice this, and like as it just dies down, and she's just like sitting there going,
And Abe is just sitting there, and his eyes are like slightly, they're that goldish brown color, and they almost sparkle with this flame-like energy as he enters this like, what almost is like a low power state where he's just reading and flipping and reading and flipping.
Eventually she just walks over and she goes, "Do you even sleep?
What?
Do you
Well,
sleep?"
Not usually, unless I got something I want to dream about.
All right, well,
And he's like clearly still listening to you. He's just still reading. You should probably sleep though. You don't want to get too tired. Got a lot to do tomorrow.
right. If you do anything, I'll fucking kill you. And then she's gonna go to bed.
Perfect.
Awesome. Does Ezekiel go to the room?
So Zeke, at a certain point when things were looking real late, would have noticed that Val was hanging around, waiting. And so he'd try and wait until she wasn't paying a lot of attention, then kind of slipped off to his room so they would be just Abe. And then he'd listen for the heavy clanging footsteps going by, and then come back out to say goodnight to Abe and be like, "Hey, take care of yourself. I'll just be right in there." asleep if you need anything. Don't.
You gonna have Vinny with you?
Yeah. Vinny will keep watch for me. It'll be fine. You don't worry none. If you got any trouble, just send me a message.
Yeah.
And I'll be right on. Also, if you see anyone weird come by, you know,
Hey,
standard stuff you got.
Before you go, what do you think of this lot?
Oh, that ain't that a loaded question now. Hey, but I figured it's too early to be sure about any of these folks. But none of them they haven't killed us yet. They haven't. Well, you did get slapped a couple of times. I took a little bit of offense on your behalf for that. Instead of using the words and everything. I'm not sure how to bring it up though, because you know the customs and all. It's so weird around here. I don't freaking I don't know.
I kind of reckoned. I wasn't sure if that was normal or not.
I don't know either. It seemed a little like that would normally start a fight, right? Like but like it wasn't a fight. So I was like, what are you gonna do?
And seeing as yesterday, I kind of lost control again. I just didn't want to.
Well, anyways, I think it's all fine. You got it. I'll let you know what I think. I think working with these folks for now is probably a good idea. As long as we keep getting our contracts done, having people around who don't want us dead is probably for the best.
All right. Keep an eye on that Val one. She keeps threatening me.
She's kind of charming in her overbearing manner, if you ask me. But we don't.
I guess if you like that kind of thing.
It depends on the day. Like. It's
People,
a different kind of vibe.
Like being threatened, I guess.
You know what? Sometimes you gotta have a little spice. But like, look, let's not worry about things done. This seemed like a fine crew. We're gonna head on out. For now, I just need to get focused on business. Are we right? Like we're behind.
How many are we behind?
You want to know the number?
All right, hit me. Yeah, before we turn in.
So I pull out a little. It's like one of those like clicky stopwatch things, and it has a total. And it has like 6 digits on it. And currently I think it would be in like. I don't remember. Did we talk about what number it was at roughly?
We're in the negatives, so yeah. Case you would know.
It was like of the I think it was like the 1500 you should be at. You're at like 400.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'd be like, it's 436, something like that. If I'm keeping my tally correctly, I'll put it back away on its little chain.
All right.
Anyways, I gotta get some sleep. You don't light nothing on fire. And I'll head off and go to sleep and just start snoring.
No promises. I'll say and spark a candle up next to where I'm reading and sit down and read for the rest of the night.
Awesome. Nova, as you make your way back to the Red Thistle, there is the lights are pretty much like off. There's like a couple of like candlelit places, and the floating larger kind of like tall sticked candles. Hold on a second. This music needs to change until as we're entering this place. All right, there we go. Perfect.
Well, shoot! Welcome to the spooky candle side of town.
As about like 3 candles are still lit, and you see at this time Tristan just now closing up the human with kind of like just short average hair, is like had just now closing up the barista station and putting away a couple of bottles of wine, and he says, Miss Vitalis, hope all fared well tonight. I heard there was a tussle at the town center.
Yes, the Archegs. I'm sure you've heard about them. They came through the town again during the fest. Everyone's fine. Little tired. Long day. Longer night. Just happy to be in a quiet inn. Thank you so much. see you in the morning.
Of course, bright and early. Goes back to finishing up stuff, and as you guys fulfill your full night's rest, go ahead and get your hit points back from that session 0 nonsense, and we start the next day. I was about to say, as we begin the next day, and now with or better yet, at this point, Marlow.
Hi.
Creepy warlock dream time.
Your last flits of what you got?
I just realized we have 3 warlocks. That's going to be so many
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. Well, we can combine ours.
Yeah, we'll pool our warlock.
Your flits of dreaming brings to you a familiar place. The larger stone cave, with a singular stone table, markings long and runes along the table. Very roughly cut around the edges, but fine runic filigree across the top. The chair on the other end of you, massive and standing probably many feet taller than your chair that is settled at your end of the table, that has like a staircase leading up to it. And you find yourself seated at this area, and a silhouetted figure this time is just on the other end.
Sir Ball, sir?
I'm not feeling too bright, little one. I'll admit this.
What's wrong? Have I done anything wrong?
No. The work you've done and the sword festivities have been wonderful, and I've gotten wonderful marks, and so have you.
Awesome. Did you see how I swapped the plants? I mean, I really stuck it to them. It was yeah.
Normally, like, there would be like a little bit of a chuckle or like a movement of the shoulders and like a shake of the head whenever you explaining these kinds of things. And this time, the individual is the massive, maybe 20-foot tall, at this point sitting down, 15-foot tall individual, shoulders that are themselves 12 foot wide. The shoulders are steady, the breath is heavy, and the head shakes.
I have a bad feeling that's been testing me for some time. Just be on your guard.
Balmung, what's wrong?
And the figure kind of stands up now, some 30 feet tall now, and walks away into the deeper recesses of the cave.
I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna reach, but at the side of my hip where my hilt is in my dream sequence, grab it, and I'm gonna try to climb onto the table and follow.
Okay.
Just like scramble up.
You try to follow. You go to follow, settling down, and normally, in this situation, you haven't been further than like the conversational area that he usually places you in, but you start to run or walk a little bit faster, and you hear the heavy footsteps of the kind of soften, almost outstriding your pace.
Balmung! Balmung, what's happening? Please.
The streaks of light from behind you of the isolated table begin to kind of lose their solid nature that reach on the wall, and your vision kind of grows from the peripheral vision as it turns to kind of TV static.
I'm gonna start looking around at the runes, try and see if there's any other differences from the last time I've been here.
With your you look around at the walls, the runes that are normally there, the markings, the hero's journey that is told on here, the tales that are etched into these ancient walls. They haven't changed. Nothing has changed. The rock's still sturdy and steady as ever. But there's a new chill to this room that you haven't experienced in the last couple of years.
I guess I'm gonna sit down just on top of the table, cross-legged, and I'm just gonna hold my hilt and like put my forehead to it and just kind of take a deep breath and just try to meditate.
The your dream eventually fades into this kind of isolated tunnel vision that eventually turns into full like kind of TV static whitewashed area but the chill is held at bay while you hold the sword until you eventually find yourself back to no more dreams, no violent wake up. You kind of like might even like stir awake, but are still warm, reminded that you're inside somewhere safe. The sword's still there next to you.
I just instinctually reach out and grab the hilt and hold it to my chest as I sleep.
As you hold it, you go back, and it does have that same kind of heavy warmth. Ezekiel. Find yourself asleep. Your brother taking another night of extended reading sessions.
This is why Abe doesn't sleep.
And your dreams, you haven't had any dreams or anything in the past probably week or two. Tonight, you have a very similar or familiar kind of flit of red and gray and charcoal. Your nose, even while you sleep, tickles by the sharp sense of brimstone. And you hear a voice that starts to pierce into your ears with a resonating
I can't seem to get hold of your brother.
God damn it. Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you, Seamus. But what you need Abe?
And in this situation, you just you see kind of like these two piercing eyes that are kind of like zoomed in from your vision that have like brows and like a piercedness to them that expresses emotion, and the eyes narrow in your gaze and says,
You boys have been taking all the time that you need, and I just want reassurance that we're doing the right thing here.
Oh yeah, no, you don't gotta worry none about the time we're taking. In fact, if we're gonna have a formal discussion about the manner of our progress, I feel like we really ought to include Abe and in on the discussion. So if you want me to go grab him, if you have some
You're
serious
telling me
concerns,
the two brothers, the yin and the yang, unbeatable. Hey, y'all don't talk? Not enough for you to handle yourself individually? Come on.
Oh, I could handle myself any way I damn please, if you don't mind me saying so direct. But I just feel like if I'm gonna say something concerning Abe, I ought to have his mental support. I already know what he's gonna say, but the exact trying to have a discussion with one brain when two brains are available seems like just a waste of both everyone's time and the potential for us to come up with a mutually satisfactory arrangement. If you know what I'm saying. But if you just want me to go over our current progress,
The only
I can point
time
out a few details.
that's being wasted is mine, Zeke. Tick tock.
and you see the eyes like kind of fade back, and then there's like a very heavy guttural like chuckle with like a snarled, almost like you can only see the emotions from the eyes, but a snarled wink that kind of fades to black.
Well, that could have gone worse. And at this point, do I go back to sleep?
Yeah. You were kind of like just like shaken, and Vinny next to you, kind of like curled up on either like the bedside table or on the floor or at the foot of the bed if he snuck up there enough with enough.
If it's just me, he's allowed to sleep on the foot of the bed. If Abe's
Gotcha.
around, he has to sleep on the floor.
Gotcha.
Sometimes outside the window.
Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop.
You see him kind of sitting up, like on the edge of the bed, feet hanging down, and
Talk to you too,
Oh yeah, you don't. It's probably best you weren't there, Vinny. Seamus seemed like he was in a bad mood. He wanted me to justify myself, but then didn't actually wait for justification. So I figure he was just trying to spook us a little bit. Nothing to worry about.
you see that
You've been telling him all the good progress we've been making, right?
You see that he's rubbing at his ankle, at his left leg. He says,
Yeah, he's not in the best mood. No, I've been making sure to keep us all. Remember, I'm part of this whole situation. I don't want to mess with the big guy, but I don't want to. Yeah, you know. No, I'm not double crossing or nothing. I promise you that. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember, like, if we succeed, you succeed, and vice versa. So, like, let's keep it open and straightforward.
I'll try, Zeke. Yeah. I'll.
Yeah, I bet you do. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
"Okay."
make a little space, and I like kind of like push him further like towards the end of the bed,
Gotcha.
like let me stretch out a bit more. I'll go back to. I'll write a quick note to my like. I have like a little tiny, like I guess like a little tiny thing of paper, right? And so I'll make a little note to like remind Seamus called, and then like put that like stick that to my front chest, or actually no, I'll stick it right above the ceiling where I see it first thing in the morning, as a reminder to let Abe know that Seamus called.
Okay, easy enough. With that, everyone else goes back into, continues with or goes back into their slumber. And as we all rise in the next morning, we will call it there for tonight.
Hey.
Wonderful.
We did it.
We did it.
Hey.
After all.
Good.
Everyone was so wonderful listening in.
Yeah, the viewers are really
Thank you all for being here. This means a lot to me. Thank
That
you,
was-
the players. This
Well
is really
done.
fun.
Yeah.
Casey did an amazing job. DM did
Yeah.
great. You did so good.
Thanks.
Thanks, announcement.
Thank you again to Kobe. Do you have any new
Any new subs? Do we? I don't know. Case, let's check the DMs I sent you.
No, that's okay.
No.
But that is okay. We appreciate all the subs, and just to remind you guys that
And the
whatever-
follows.
and the follows and anything that you guys are offering us. We have put a lot of effort the past couple of weeks into both getting a more consistent and awesome situation for both Running in the 90s and Balance the Cosmic Wheel, and everything we are getting from Amazon or from y'all is going right back into the stream. And it's really helpful to get like subscriptions and all that other stuff. So thank y'all so much. Remember, exclamation point Discord, get that link and come chat with us and give us suggestions. And we're probably going to have some like various nights that we do nonsense over there, and we'll catch y'all then.
Bit 90s.
Yeah.
We're at 90s.
Yeah.
Right, 90s on
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Tuesday, 7:30, same channel.
Channel.
It'll be like a lot of the same people. So
And if you
Except for
want to
me.
discuss that, it's the same Discord.
Yeah.
So
Yup.
Boom.
Exclamation point Discord times
Plausible
2.
reliability.
Also, pretty sure, isn't it the only Shadowrun like active game going on right
There-
now?
yeah.
It's
We're
one of
one of
like
very
two
One
or
of-
three. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Super
So
cool.
We're
If
all
you're
So
interested in that cyberpunk flavor, it's
if you
a great
want
place.
cyberpunk shenanigans and sometimes
And
evil
man-eating
fairies.
sites.
If you
Yeah.
want
And birds.
cyberpunk shenanigans
Oh my
without
God.
all of the glitches that is in the current game, join us.
And
And-
so many D6s.
A
Yeah,
flurry of D6s.
rain.
Making it rain.
And join us next week for hopefully a better put together episode of Balance the Cosmic Wheel as we explore these characters go into the deal with the Ankegs, and who knows
More
what else.
Yeah.
Excited for it, honestly.
But yeah.
Bug dungeon.
Love you
All right,
guys.
guys. Thank
Have a
y'all.
good night.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
See you next
And
time.
remember, come back, Val, break your kneecaps. Bye.
And then